Looks like we are about to get underway here, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us. Russia versus Germany, ETF2L Highlander Nations Cup, sponsored by manco.store. I'm eXtine, joined by CeeJaey. Action getting underway.
Yeah, and we see the Christmas ball, and crime goes down very early on. Dreamy using the Rap Assassin to throw that Christmas ball into the face of crime. The bleed damage focused him down with the scattergun as well, and Russia have lost so many players here. Their flank has gone down. TS has gone up. Her hand goes down to a body shot from Milchman. Absolute catastrophe from Russia on that mid-fight. The moment they lost their demo, they just look so scattered. And that's going to be very, very difficult for them to regroup here. Fuzzy is still alive here, eXtine, but very, very strong mid-fight from Germany.
Yeah, they also traded heavies at the end there, which is just another small consolation. But unfortunately, crime goes backstabbed again. So they are indeed going to have to find some sort of way forward after this. They lose their pyro as well. That's Russia. They bomb their soldier in, but Uka unable to find enough damage to make Tomato pop. And Germany just going to post up behind the rock here.
Yeah, now we're just going to see, are we pausing? Looks like an early pause there. But yeah, I mean, we get into this situation on product. I do think this is the kind of situation that separates a DM team from a team that's actually good at a map, if that makes sense. Because you look at Tomato, he has 100%, he's behind the point, he's well protected. You look at Baham, excuse me, sorry, he's only at 40%, just about, and if Russia push in now with their entire team, Germany just going to Uber onto them and destroy them. So it doesn't matter how good you are at DM, if the enemy team is invincible, there's not much you can do about it. So now it's about whether Russia are able to coordinate those sacks or get in some space for their sniper, cause a distraction for their spy, something like that. If they can work around and remove the Uber from the equation, then they can get back into this game. And it's their pick, so you'd like to think that they have some sort of plan up their sleeve.
Yeah, sounds like the Russians called the pause there. We'll have to see if there was server issues that popped up, or maybe just kind of an individual having a problem here. Yeah, certainly the first round of sacks in there didn't really work out. I think DQZ is just respawning. I know he's kind of coming back to the fold. He had been in kind of fighting. They sent the soldier in, no success there. And the sniper rotating over to China. We'll have to see if he can get a counter snipe onto Milkman, who is weak at the moment. But Tomato is keeping his head down right now.
I don't know if you have the concept of like a derby in America, eXtine, like when two teams from like the same city like play each other in sports.
Yeah.
You guys call it a derby?
No, we don't. Yeah, we don't have. I mean, unfortunately, not. Like, we don't have a good term for it.
Okay.
You know, we just would say like a rivalry.
Yeah. So like a local rivalry
match. You know, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like we have that in like in Europe. You have like sort of the Madrid derby or the Manchester derby or something like that between two teams. I mean, we have the potential for kind of like a derby in the final. So remember, on the other side we have Poland versus Finland. Like, Poland's right next to Germany. There's a bit of history there. I'm not going to go into it. And Finland is right next to Russia. They've got a bit of history as well. So yeah. I mean, they're right. We could have the potential of like a Russia-Finland final or a Germany-Poland final. Like, I reckon that would add a little bit of spice to the mix, because they are right next to each other geographically. It's the closest thing we're going to get to a derby or a local rivalry, so to speak, in a Nations Cup. I mean, another thing to point out actually is, I mean, as we're paused, I was looking at some old videos at eXtine earlier on, and I was looking, and there was some frag videos where you were casting.
Oh.
And actually, I'm going to come back to that thought.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to come back to that as we are live again. Yeah. But yeah, Tomato's still at 100%.
Yeah, we'll have to see how this settles in. Right now, the Russians are kind of sending some players forward, trying to get a little bit more progress so they can indeed get that pop. TS is kind of behind. Here comes the second wave of the soldier getting in. Does get really good pressure on Tomato, does get the pop there. But we haven't lost some players on Russia. They have kept their medic up, but their combat classes have gone down in this wave of sacks.
Yeah, I mean, they don't get really much value from that. They really ideally want to get, I don't know, more done. Something onto get some more frags, get some more space, because there's a lot to work on. They do get Zamperoni, so that's going to open the door. Good frag by TS, and he actually survives. And the Uber comes in here onto Lightclaw. I do expect he's going to get the majority of these Ubers. Tomato's so weak!
Yeah,
is he going to get finished off?
Oh yeah, Demoman bombing on the top. Finally, Crime does get the kill on Tomato. The Germans fighting behind the house, but they have conceded the point. Mezzo lurking behind, but there's not much there for Germany right now.
I love the speed knife choice from TS. That was the reason he survived there. Russia do capture the point, but they've lost 4 players. So this is the kind of situation where you think, yeah, Germany are just going to push forward and take this again for free. So Russia gets some time off the board, but it's like 25 seconds. Is that really worth like trading that entire Uber? You get the medic kill, but you've given up the point again for so little time. And I think they need to be careful when they regroup after a push like that.
And it seems like their spy did time out there. That was sort of a little after everything that you were talking about there, but contributed to their downfall for sure. They're trying to get out here and fight again. Their Milkman got sniped by his counterpart Fuzzy. That's certainly going to help things out. Also, Menti getting picked off by the scout. Russia pulls back here.
Really well played there by Russia. Really well played. Again, they just used the threat of the fact that they have an Uber to scare Germany off. They were saying, hey, we're going to cap the point. If you want to fight us, do it. But we have an Uber, so if you do fight us, we're going to screw you. And Tomato only just now getting up to that 100%. It looks like Menti wants to be aggressive with it.
Yeah, Tomato does come out the corner here with the overcharge. Jemmy gets a bit of it as well. He gets thrown backwards, though. Lightclaw standing tall on the point. Going to back away from it as well. And Germany perhaps having an opening here after the overcharges have faded. They're trying to get some kills on the left side, but it's going to be their spy, Mezzo, getting a stab on Poscar. Opening things up. Your Rez also fighting in close. He gets pushed back. It gets reflected on by DQZ.
It's not normally you see like the healer of the team being the tank, but Pahan taking so much damage repeatedly there and surviving, and actually some good kills late on there. Lightclaw taking down the Milchman, which allows Russia to just walk forward. Look at Lightclaw, he just runs in and takes down Tomato. Lightclaw has been activated now.
Yeah.
He is on fire. He takes down Menti with the bleed kill as well. Russia recaptured the point, and Fuzzy on a 4K takes down the Milchman. These Russian players are starting to get into the groove now, and they have a huge advantage, eXtine, 100% in the bank for Pahan.
Yeah, some very large frags there, as the heavy weapons guy Zamperoni also bleeding to death right above the dispenser. That could have stopped that. We have TS in position here to see exactly what's happening, maybe even get a stab at the end of it. They see Tomato on the cliffside. They have an overcharge behind the rock. They might possibly push out early with this, use this defensively. For now, though, they're feeling pretty comfortable back there, waiting for TS to get in there. There has been a snipe on Dreamy. TS does get discovered right as he was coming in for a stab. He gets taken out. Oh no, it's a drop! As Miju coming in from the sides, and Pahan and company just sitting there way too long. And Tomato tucked behind the rock now. Now it's his opportunity to chill a bit. Russians still in control of point, but Germany have more numbers here. A bomb coming in, can't get a kill on Tomato. He's very weak though, 14 health. The engineer comes around the corner, gets him with the shotgun.
Miaf, the absolute champ. Fuzzy finally goes down after an 8 kill streak. I mean, if it wasn't for Fuzzy there, then it would have been kind of so much worse for Russia. He was getting kill after kill after kill. Okay, Pahan dropped. Really bad situation. They also lost Crime in the same bomb. However, Fuzzy just constantly getting kills there. Miaf there, following up from the damage from Utka to manage to get that kill. TS takes down the Milchman again. Milchman was on fire in the first 30-odd seconds of this game. However, he's just been focused so much since then. Mezzo is focusing Crime. He does not like Crime's face right now, and Russia not in a good position to compete here.
No, not at all. As now Pahan gets bombed into by Miju. And a lot of hesitancy on the side of Russia, and unfortunately for them, that last 30 seconds just completely fell apart. Great turnaround, great fight earlier in the round, but it didn't look very clean at the end there. You know, they still have a great opportunity moving forward, though.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like Germany were really in control for the first half of that round. Russia pulled back and showed that, you know, we're warming up now, we're getting into it. But a couple of kind of really bad plays there ended up, you know, Germany just taking the round. And I think Russia definitely showing that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in this map. But this is their choice, let's not forget. So they're going to want to try and get this under their belts.
Oh. Yeah, they have to be less hesitant when they have an overcharge advantage. That was the main takeaway for me personally of that last round. This round, they're keeping players up as this mid-fight kind of just really drags on for quite a while. Mief going to be the first one to go down. Not the biggest loss, though, and they have gotten at least a frag on Dreamy in the meantime. Mezzo trying to just pistol over from the side after putting a sapper on the teleporter.
Not really a good exchange. I mean, you do get the midpoint, but they've lost Lightclaw, which is going to be the prime focus of their Ubers, I feel. And it's going to be a big question whether Russia want to stay in here. Pahan's used the Uber, but there's no one to use it on.
Wow. Yeah, they have to be decisive here, and Py-bun finally says, no, let's go. But he kind of goes around the wrong side of the rock in comparison to Crime, so they wasted some opportunity there. Uka has gone down as well. This fight has overall, though, gone pretty well for them as Fuzzy kills Dreamy, who was the only player that was on the point. The minigun is down. They might be able to get the quick capture here as Germany standing behind the rock, but they don't want to come out to contest this. The Demo Man finally does get a nice pipe down on Mief, but the capture has happened. Russia controls the point now, and they've only lost 2 players for it. Mezzo coming in from behind, gets a stab on Light Claw. That's a nice pick up there.
Yeah, no Light Claw and no Crime. It's going to be very hard for them to do anything pressuring this point, but Germany, I don't know if it's fear, but they're just kind of being a little bit hesitant right here because Russia are just catching them out. Zamperoni goes down, so even if they capture this point, 17 second respawn now. Finally, Fuzzy goes down to the Milchman there, but Tomato's on fire. He's so weak, and Crime is spamming into that corner. He's so weak. I'm not sure if they realize how weak he is. TS is going to come in from behind. He gets him with the shank, and Russia again getting the medic. Py-bun is extremely weak, but he is safe for the time being, I say, as he runs onto the sneaky. But yeah,
great.
Russia in control.
Yeah, great defense. In fact, while that stab was going down by TS onto Demato, there was just kind of a fierce defense of Py-bun. He was very low health. Mezzo was trying to get in on him, so they've kept Py-bun alive. Tenacious plays by the Russians. They have an overcharge ready to go. They've been starting to feel a little bit more comfortable. I think they could get aggressive with this charge once again and just clear Demato out from behind the rock.
Yeah, they've taken Fuzzy down, so they don't have to worry about sniper sightlines. And Germany are trying to, get Milchman into a situation here where they can get some spam down, or at least a sightline. And they're taking players down one by one. Russia are just bleeding players. They finally use onto Crime, take down Menti and Milchman, but are they going to catch Demato? That's the question.
Yeah, it wasn't strong pressure from Germany trying to get this pop early. Py-bun does kind of sneak out, but they've lost Crime here. And Germany surging forward, 85% as well, so they're in a very strong position here now. Mezzo, the only player down here. Miju also getting on top of some players. Mief goes down, Dreamy getting a 2K there, as Miju did get finished off. And Germany, though, pretty strong on the point. Backstab on Der Milkman.
TS is doing a lot of work and just focusing the sniper. Sometimes when the sniper is constantly getting killed by the spy, it's a question of either he's not playing in the right places or his team aren't protecting him. As the bombs come in from Russia, so much damage.
Wow.
Crime and Nutka go down, but they do get the force. And as long as Py-bun survives here, they are going to have an uber advantage. Py-bun is actually in the thick of it, and has to back out from main. Is going to keep his life though, but really well coordinated bomb there. And Russia should have an uber advantage after all of that.
Yeah, Germany didn't lose too many players there, so they're feeling pretty comfortable. They didn't really charge forward to try to get a kill on Py-bun. That would have been pretty risky. They've narrowed the overcharge window as well. It's just about 20% now. Mezzo lurking behind. And they should be able to get good information where this Russian push is coming from.
Yeah, they do lose a couple of players. Oh no, they lose Mezzo to Py-bun, to a Mezzo backstab. And that uber advantage has been taken out of the equation now. And Germany with the advantage, although Russia are trying to get some spam down. They're taking some ground, but I don't think they're going to get anything done. 4 players down for Russia now, and actually Germany have taken the lead in the time on this second round after being over a minute behind.
Yeah, it was quite the 1-2 punch there as they got the stab on Py-bun. Also a headshot on Pozkar at the same time. So just the heavy weapons and the medic disappearing. TS trying to come from behind with the stab, but the Ubercharge is going to be used beforehand. And Milkman actually pans him down. The Ubercharge moving forward here as Dreamy does get taken out by Light Claw after it fades. Germany doing all right, though. They do have good numbers on the point. And Russia basically just a few players out on cliffside as Uka also gets sniped down.
Very hard for them to get back into this round. They have to be extremely clinical with this. Tomato in a bit of no man's land there as Crime walks forward and Menti's trying to deny it. Both snipers go down in quick succession, but I think Russia should be able to capture this point pretty comfortably. They do get some frags, and Py-bun, as long as he doesn't use his Uber here, Russia will be in a decent position. 4 seconds left on the clock, eXtine. Basically, Germany just need to recap it, and Py-bun goes down again.
Yeah, they're having problems with this kind of rock offensive hold, in my opinion. As Py-bun has, that was either a drop or he was at 99%. He was right there. It was a drop, okay. He's dropped twice in that same location. The Ubercharge coming out here. And Mief, really kind of the only player that's near the point fighting it out. Py-bun getting close to the dispenser in the corner here at the cliff spot, and he has gotten some heals on Crime. They have gotten some frags. Not quite everybody, but most of Germany is dead. Der Milkman trying to snipe in on the side, just trying to get something to ease this repush that's going to have to happen here. 30 seconds on the clock. Can Russia hold here?
What was in my drink? What happened there? I think I've been spiked. Like, full Uber advantage for Germany. They walk across the point and they wipe. I mean, I don't know what happens here. This is just going to be a DM battle right now. Who's going to be in a better position? Poker on that rock is getting spammed to all hell. And that's going to give loads of space for Germany to walk forward. This is 3 seconds. Germany needs to get on the point. Mezzo does get a kill, but they lose Crime, they lose Poker. Germany have got the presence, but they're losing players. Miaf and Lightclaw are just slaying.
Wow. Now, what a fight afterwards. As you said, it just turned into pure death match. Germany did do a good job of timing that, ensuring not to panic too much. They just got that capture started, kept fighting, but they just couldn't hang in there. A lot of big frags from Uka, Mief.
It's rare you see an NG kind of, doing the meat of the work, but he's done a lot that round. And yeah, Russia getting on the board for the round.
Yeah, he's actually second in points on his team, ahead of his medic. Crime goes down early again, which unfortunately for the Russians, they clawed back that second round, but in the first round, that's how things unwound in the beginning for him. Crime going down early. Now it's Popscar and Lightclaw. Oh, everybody dying.
Yeah, once they lose their demo, once they lose Fuzzkey as well, it's, no Crime, no Fuzzkey. It's very difficult for them to get any sort of space, and it gives so much room. And look at Germany. They want to forward hold this. They're very confident, but Han didn't die, so they don't have that much of an advantage to talk of. However, they want to get forward, and they want to make sure Russia fight for this cliff, which Lightclaw's trying to do. He takes down Dreamy, and they force the Uber.
Yeah, they have to use it on Rez here. He'll kill Crime there, but that'll basically be considered a successful sack wave, especially as Fuzzkey causing some problems here for Zamperoni, who can't find the frag on him. Mezzo near the engineer nest, but Uka and the heavy weapons guy looking it over. Mezzo might be able to clear that out right now, which is kind of a helpful presence for Russia.
Yeah, both demos are actually outpointing their medics right now. They're doing a lot of work, so much damage coming out of those boys right now. As Uka goes down, Miju goes down, so both soldiers out of the equation. Russia quite weak. They have the Uber, but they also now have the point. And there we go. Fuzzkey with the sniper onto Milchman is huge, and that's going to allow Russia to get set up and maybe just relax a little bit. As TS is disconnected again, hopefully he'll be back momentarily. But D'Amato, only 50% eXtine, so Germany are going to have to try and do something dry here.
Yeah, it's kind of working out okay for them, though, as they're not getting pressured behind rock too much. They're fighting through connector, causing some problems. Mezzo on the side, being a distraction over on concrete. But Germans just trying to inch this point as the Russians have an Ubercharge in response. But they can't really find D'Amato, and can't even get the kill on Zamperoni as well. Good split from Germany, the dispenser on one side, the medic on the other. They pop out here in response. Get the kill on Crime. Miju, a big bomb over, can't finish off Py-bun. Kind of throws him closer over to that health pack. Py-bun, though, gunned down by Mezzo, who is on the cliff. What a shot from him.
Yeah, so much aggression from Germany. Even Milchman, the sniper, was so far forward. Zamperoni was chasing. Everyone wanted to finish off that medic there. And it does mean Germany in control of the point, ahead in time, and ahead in the Uber stakes. So they can now relax and get themselves set up, and it's all about what Russia can do to try and get back. And Miaf is just walking on the point. He doesn't care that there's a sticky trap there. He wants to get in and get something done. And Milchman has gone down to Uka. So he also takes down Saga. Wow. 2 kills basically for free there, and Russia just walk in. No respect whatsoever, taking that capture and saying, okay, you want to fight us? Let's do it.
Yeah, the Germans were kind of spread a little bit thin there. Also losing Zamperoni and Miju now, but they have popped Ubercharge, trying to move forward with Menti and Dreamy. Dreamy can't quite find the damage on DQZ. Is going to find Posker, though. From behind, that's an easy pickup for the scout. Mezzo has gone down for Germany. That's just one player, though. And now, though, getting shoved off the point. The counter push by the Russians, very strong. Like the winter snows have lifted.
They're ready. They are ready here, eXtine. I mean, they make Germany use the Uber. And reflect! Wow. He's not a pyro main, I've been told, but he's hitting the reflects. DQZ with the kill onto Miju. I mean, Germany use their Uber across the point. Not only does Pahan not die, not only does Pahan still have his Uber, but Russia stopped them from capping and actually get a ton of kills. They're just fighting this with aggression, no fear. But Fuzzy has gone down here, so Germany with a bit more space, and Russia I think will have to use their Uber soon.
Yeah, this the Uber charge has come in to block. Oh no, they don't block capture. Capture has gone over. It's going to be beneficial for Germany here.
DQC's chasing in spawn. Can he get Tomato? No, Tomato's actually run all the way into spawn to survive that. They get so many kills, and even though Germany captured the point, the fact that Tomato was running, everyone was just throwing their bodies, you know, it was bodyguard style, to try and keep Tomato alive. It meant that Tomato wasn't building as quickly, so the advantage is only about 30%. So if Russia play this right, you know, they could see out the rest of this round. But Menti wants to be aggressive with this.
Yeah, a little too aggressive as he gets taken down. Rez also getting sniped as he tries to round the corner. It means it's just Dreamy and Zamperoni for the Uber charge, which basically it's going to fade out. Zamperoni maybe gets a little too far forward. Those Fist of Steels come in handy, but he still gets taken out. And it's just Saga on the point, trying to get the capture here. But he's got the sentry gun trying to get him from the side, controlling connector. Mief continuing to do good work. Poskar has gotten sniped down. There goes DQZ as well. So the Russians running out of players who can stop this capture. Pahan around the corner. Sticky's coming over the top. He's going to pop the Ubercharge on Lightclaw, pushing forward into Tomato, who's got 40%. The dispensers, there's so many things to shoot. He does get the kill on the medic, though.
Absolutely beast. Pahan really well played there, just staying alive. He was pressured by Mezzo, he was pressured by Milchman. He does die to the backstab this time, but Fuzzy has arrived and he's on a 4K right now, and Russia are going to recapture this. It does mean a late respawn for their medic, but Germany aren't going to have enough players to even contest by the time the counter gets to 0 there. I mean, a lot of disrespect goes Pahan's way, okay? But as a medic main myself, I've got to throw out props where it's due. He was dodging, he was weaving, he spotted the spy uncloak, he made sure he managed to get that Uber, he popped on Lightclaw, and Lightclaw manages to get Tomato. If Lightclaw doesn't get Tomato there, then Germany are in control of the remainder of that round, but really well played by the pair of Russian players there, and Russia 1 round away from winning this first map.
Wow, Crime extremely fast on the midpoint. Very surprisingly so. He actually gets taken down by Dreamy. Nice pickup from him, who also combines with the other players to take off Lightclaw early. Uka also going down, so Russia in a tight spot as this round starts. They have a 2-1 advantage. This mid-fight not going their way.
No, and I don't know, it seems that the mid-fights aren't going great for Russia. We've seen 2 mid-fights out of the 3 so far, or 4 I should say, where Crime has died and Russia immediately lose it. This time Crime was very fast, probably had the advantage on that mid-fight, but still they didn't get the picks they needed. You know, they didn't get the space, and Pahan goes down to Milchman, and that's going to be a real big setback for Russia in this round, and Germany looking very comfortable now. 100% Tomato looking happy in that dispenser.
Yeah, Uka, while Crime actually getting picked out of the air by Menti, he was trying to surge forward, trying to find Tomato to get a pop there. Lightclaw going to get on the point, does a little bit of pressure, but with Zamperoni there, although Zamperoni does get headshot down. So he was kind of blocking the capture. I think there's other players who can step up. See though if TS can find any success as he comes out through China here. Looks like he's gotten picked out though. Tomato is on the crits, by the way. Now it comes out here.
Yeah, it hits my hand right in the face. Yeah, there's so many kills.
Yeah, Tomato does get stabbed down there at the end by TS. That is actually okay though, because it might ease in him switching back over. Also, the point does get captured, but there's only 3 players up here for Russia, and really none of them close by this point. Just Fuzzy up top. So the point is going to get flipped back over after Germany gets all of their respawn, so they really can't complain about it. And to note, they do stay on that KritzKast.
Yeah, I wonder if they actually knew whether the KritzKast was in play. I think they did by the way that they were playing. They were trying to bait it out, but having Pahan so far forward just meant that he was going to get killed in that, and you would expect a little bit more aggression from Russia if they knew the KritzKast was in play there. But Fuzzy is doing so much for Russia right now. He takes down Menti, and because there isn't any sort of charges in play, Russia again are saying, hey, Germany, you want to fight us? Let's DM, let's fight this. Crime very weak, he's going to get healed up there, but Fuzzy is getting these opening picks, and because he's getting these opening picks, it's basically turning into a DM battle, and at the moment, Russia are winning it, but they are over a minute behind, and KritzKast in the hands of Tomato again, or is it? No, it is KritzKast, it's going to be used on Menti.
And it's just coming out, Pahan 98% right now. He will get the charge ready to go. Tomato taken out by the bombing Utka. There have been a few, well, yeah, not enough frags.
KritzKast on Russia as well, though. There was a KritzKast coming out from Russia, big bomb from Miju, and Crime's going to go down. I think they're actually going to lose a lot of players here. Fuzzy saving his medic there with a nice headshot onto Dreamy. He will die, but Pahan will live. It's basically equal Ubers again because Tomato did get killed, but it was laser beams from Poker there for a second. And it seemed like a really awkward exchange. Both teams not really getting much value for the crits. But Tomato now still on crits, Pahan still on crits. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next few moments.
Yeah, TS has eyes on the German combo. Your Milkman starting things off with a snipe across, while the Russians trying to get in position behind this rock, which is dangerous for Pahan's. Got to watch out for all these stickies flying in at him. The stickies pop, just weird TF2 explosions do 0 damage to Crime. Podskar has gone down here to Miju.
Crime is doing a great job in just focusing the sniper, and oh my gosh, Fuzzy takes down Menti. Zamperoni goes down to the backstab. Nobody is available to receive those crits. Pahan is getting spammed all over the place, and he is on KritzKast. He has 100% in the back, but Russia have the point now. Still 2 minutes to chip off, however. And maybe this is going to be the opportunity for Germany to kind of just re-push here dry and force that crits out.
Yeah, I think Russia could have a really good crits here. They're waiting for Crime to use it. They have popped it. They missed it. One crit sticky. He still gets a kill on Menti and Tomato. Staying alive as well. Can be a challenge when you're on that crits.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big kill, isn't it? Getting the medic. They do get the medic, but I don't know. Germany have a lot of players up. Zamperoni's on the point, but Lightclaw's just going to come in, barrel forward and take him down. Dreamy is now going to try and fight on the point, and Lightclaw's kind of left Wiethoofd by himself, and he comes back. Crime, the artillery, is back in action. Big bomb in from Miju, and he's going to take down Pahan.
Yeah, that was great by Miju. Really needed by Germany as well, because they just were having problems stringing their offense together. A lot of players surging forward, getting some decent damage, but just not quite able to get the frags. But Miju coming in there finally seals the deal with a big kill on Pahan. Able to get the capture on the point as well. Russians surging forward to get the retake here. They haven't done so yet, but even if they do, there's still a lot of clock time to work off here. Menti rotates onto the point to block the capture. He almost burns to death, but stays alive. Zamperoni and Menti both need arrow heals, but meanwhile, Tomato has to deal with the spy in his face. Now 2 players up for Russia. And it is Pahan and the Pyro. They are backing out.
They have 8 seconds to get on the point, and they don't have any sort of charge to work with. It's 80% crits, and DQZ goes down, so that is going to be a round on the board for Germany. They're going to tie it all up here. Almost really well played by Russia. You know, they had no control of the point. They had a disad on the KritzKast. However, Germany didn't have very many players. But the thing is, they got a little bit too ahead of themselves. They didn't coordinate it well enough so that when they did finally get the cap, there were 4 players down. And Germany were like, we'll take that. You can have the cap. We have the faster respawns now. We're going to re-push with our players. Crime is so fast to get eXtine. We'll see if they can win it off that mid-fight.
Yeah, again, he gets to rock very quickly. Also gets some arrow heals, so he's doing A-okay. Mezzo looking to lurk behind on the spy. Right now, though, big frags coming in. Miju, big bomb as he gets Fuzzy and Pahan. The Russians cleaned up.
Yeah, and that is going to be a big advantage. Still on the KritzKast here, Tomato. Still on the KritzKast. So clearly Germany feeling something needed to change after being 2-1 down there. And Kritz is obviously their choice of the way they want things to go. I do wonder what Pahan's going to respawn on. He is actually on the medigun, so if Russia know about the KritzKast, this is going to be the same situation as it was before. Menti's going to use the crits! Is he going to get anything done? DQZ is deflecting, Lightclaw goes down, but not much gets done.
It was like good counter bombs out from the Russians just to keep the Germans focused on staying alive and dealing with those bombers. But yeah, the crit's not really able to do a whole lot. Russians are kind of banged up here, not really at full health themselves. Uka fighting in connector. He's up against Rez. We'll get the one-on-one kill. Looking for some arrow heals perhaps, but he's just going to try to sneak his way out of there. He goes down. Zamperoni standing tall on the point. Gets some nice frags out. Now it's the spy decloaking with the engineer. They're just going to get the capture here. Germany have taken almost a full minute off. The bomb coming in from Miju again. Gets the kill on Pahan. Wow.
Yeah, that was almost really good from Russia, but losing Pahan there is just unforgivable. They cannot lose him in that situation. Zamperoni getting 3 kills on the point, just knowing that he was going to die, knowing that they were going to lose the point, but manages to trade for 3.
Nice.
But Tomato down to TS.
Yeah, that was a good stab on him by him. He saw that Tomato was still on the crits as well. making that call for sure. It didn't matter though after he got that stab. Posgard barely staying alive in that corner. Meanwhile, Utka getting shoved away from Connector, also pretty banged up. Russians not able to make a whole lot of ground here as the Germans looking to capture the point here. Indeed, they have now. Russians look for an immediate recap and might be able to get it. There's not a whole lot of Germans local to be able to contest this. Menti actually goes down.
Yeah, Mezzo is alive and he's lurking and he gets a kill onto Fusky somehow. I don't know if that was that backstab? It must have been, I guess. It looked like he was facing, must have been looking at the wrong player, but that is a really big pick from Mezzo because Fuzzy down now means that Germany can push forward without worrying about that sideline. But TS, both of these spies are doing so much work, and Udka!
Yeah, that was a great shot by him, just walking forward downstairs and catching the medic from behind. They're just kind of chilling in that concrete area. It's a huge pick off on Ben, getting the medic. This is our final round of product, 2-2. The Russian team in good control. The clock ticking in their favor, and they have an overcharge on Pahan. Also win the sniper battle one more time with Fuzzy getting a pick there.
Yeah, I mean, so many of these players are playing out their minds right now. It's just absolutely amazing. TF2. Fuzzy is doing so much work. Big bomb from Midge. You're gonna get. He can't. He's still alive. Pahan is jumping like a little bunny rabbit. Stays alive though, and still Tomato only at 50% here. eXtine. Pahan still at full charge.
Yeah, good coordination by the Germans on that bomb, you know, sending the soldier at the same time that the spy was coming in. So Pahan was actually just staring at the spy. Very lucky with his dodges, and that Miju couldn't find that rocket, because he's been finding him all day. Right now, they are going to send Uko over to kill their Milkman. He's going to get taken out. 55 seconds on the clock. Tomato still on the KritzKast here. They're about to have it. And they know where Pahan has been chilling, but the overcharge will come out in response. They felt that the aggression from Germany was there with that KritzKast. All the signs were there. It was clear. Tomato has gone down, though, in this ensuing fight.
Yeah, Pahan surviving, just staying passive, make sure he survived after Uber. TS with a kill onto Menti is going to really prevent Germany from getting any sort of spam out here. And the fact that they have heals still. Tomato is there, but he's getting shot at by Utka. I wasn't going to say a bad word there, I swear. But Germany actually getting kills on the flank here, eXtine, and I think that they're going to capture the point, but only 19 seconds left on the cap for Russia, and they have a bit of an advantage, and Tomato's back on Medigun now, and it's pretty much even here.
Yeah, that's a good switch back to the Medigun. The Russians are pushing Cliffside, or looking to. They're cautious about Mezzo, but Crime does fall down, leaving Pahan kind of awkwardly transitioning between the cliff and then the ramp side. Looks like things will be okay for now, though, as Mezzo just choosing to deal with the teleporter exit. Overcharge is up for Pahan. Tomato very close to getting it as well. TS up top will get the easy stab on Zamperoni as he comes down, though. The overcharge has been popped by Germany. Russia's used there as well. They've lost Light Claw as well as the Spy. That's not so bad. But as the fight continues here, Crime getting sniped down. Poscar and the Pyro getting on the point here. The capture should flip over as Dreamy can't stop it. But Fuzzy, a kill on Milkman at the same time, though. Pahan has gone down to that snipe.
Yeah, that is such a big pick from Milchman, but such a big pick from Fuzzy, and he manages to take down. There's only a few seconds. Germany have to stand on the point, other Russia are going to get it. They're sending players in all over the place. Fuzzy's gone down.
Wow.
As does DQZ. Crime is going to launch in to try and maybe get some damage down, but no, Germany actually are going to capture this without any casualties, and they're in a really good position to see out this round now.
Yeah, 50 seconds to go for Russia to get out here. Mief gets sniped. He's been a big player for them just on the engineer. Pahan alone behind house. Mezzo kind of lurking nearby. They have to watch out for him. 30 seconds now on the clock here. They're going to need some snipes from Fuzzy as well. If TS can get something to open up any of these players. 90% on Tomato, though.
Yeah, Germany just need to use the Zuba and they can block it.
Mezzo tries to come in for a stab. Light Claw gets him, though, just in time. Overcharge has been popped out here. Menti, they have to find something. They do get a kill on Crime. DQZ has gone down as well. Menti controlling cliffs behind. Pahan getting chased by Dreamy. The capture is underway, though. Is progressing. Is almost most of the way done. Uka fighting on the point. Light Claw still there as well. There's so many players, though. 3 players, 4 players for Germany standing on the point. They have a lot of time to unwind, though. Fuzzy with a snipe down on Menti. Can TS get in here? The bomb in from Crime. No, he gets cleared off. DQZ taken out as well. And I think that'll do it, CeeJaey.
Oh my gosh, so close there. Russia, like, DQZ did a lot of work trying to deny that Uber, but it was Milchman getting a couple of kills during that Uber used by Germany. He wasn't involved in the Uber, he was a sniper, but he got a couple of kills, which meant that they weren't able to fight it after the Uber was over. And despite the fact that DQZ denied most of the Uber, they just didn't have enough bodies to get forward on the point. And so close there, but Russia's map pick goes to Germany 3-2.
Yeah, kind of a surprising result off of just, map pick and expectations. If we check the logs, we'll see that it really was an enemy at the gates sniper battle with Der Milkman and Fuzzkey, 44 frags and 42 frags respectively. And Fuzzkey, though, getting the edge in terms of sniper versus sniper kills, getting 11 compared to 7. But also, you really had Mezzo really focusing on Fuzzkey with 9 sniper kills from Mezzo in comparison to TS just helping out in that battle by getting 2 stabs on Der Milkman.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see that it was some of these classes are so close. You take a look at the NGs, 18 kills apiece, Pyros, 21 kills apiece, Demos right next to each other on the scoreboard with regards to kills as well. Interesting, like the sniper battle, I was going to say Fuzzkey seemed to be having the edge over Milchman, but overall Milchman getting a lot of kills. So, that just really helping his team. Even though he was losing the sniper v sniper, he's getting more kills. He's putting out more damage. And just kind of the sheer weight. I think Miju deserves a shout out for the bombs in, especially in the last 2 rounds. Managed to get Pahan a couple of times there. And Demato dying just one less time. I felt he was actually dying more than Pahan in those first few rounds, but the last 2, Pahan was going down a little bit too much to Miju's bombs and maybe just not caught out. But in that final round, it could have gone either way. That final exchange basically decided the game there. And, both sides are going to be feeling a little bit aggrieved. Well, I mean, Russia feeling a little bit aggrieved and Germany thinking, hey, we got away with winning that game, but we're onto our home map now.
Yeah. Dematode certainly had some problems with a lot of deaths, and he kind of alluded to it in the in-game chat. But dying at the right time is important. Pahan, 2 statistics from the medic to point out not only the 2 drops compared to just the 1 from Dematode, but also 63 seconds as the biggest advantage lost. And I think that certainly was something that at points when the Russians look back in this STB or look back in this cast, are going to say, why did we play so passive there? Why didn't we just round the corner and kill him? And that's certainly an important question to ask yourself. I think one more thing, just tie into the medic discussion as well as the sniper discussion that I wanted to point out looking at these stats. Fuzzkey actually getting 0 medic picks while Der Milkman getting 5. And I think that just sort of plays into that narrative of Pahan dying at unexpected times, while Dematode, if he's not dying to the sniper, and he died 4 times to the spy, but if you're not dying to the sniper, then that means that your deaths are coming in the fights after pushes. They're coming in engagements, and those are often times where it's okay to die. We actually saw a few of those engagements as well, where it's like Dematode died in the fight, but just the situation overall and the overextension from the Russians, his Dematode's teammates were able to capture the point regardless of his death.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I totally agree with that. It's interesting how, you see numbers on the logs and you think, oh, this is the amount of kills, but it's often who you're getting those kills on, the value you get out of those kills. I do think for, a couple of moments there, it was tactical. I do think that last round there, if they hadn't have lost couple of players to Milchman right at the end. I think Crime and somebody else went down to Milchman as Germany Ubered in. DQZ did an amazing job in denying the space, denying the Uber. If those players had survived, if Milchman hadn't have hit those shots, then Russia would push in with the way that they did, and they would have, in my mind, definitely have capped if they'd had their demo and an extra player up. It was so close in the end. So often it's those clutch picks that do turn the tide of a fight. I mean, how do you think Russia are going to be feeling about this? They've lost their map pick. I think this is the first map they've lost in the Nations Cup so far. Germany moving on to a map they picked now.
I mean, I think they're definitely looking a little shook, and I think that those comments that I had about, kind of aggression, about knowing when to push and when to capitalize on those sort of things, you sort of got to wonder how that's going to reflect in goalie wash. You know, is that going to turn into situations where they're playing defensive and they maybe could turn it into an offensive moment? They maybe could push out, but they're hesitant to do so. Or is it, you know, if they actually, you know, maybe they win the mid fight, but then they're just super hesitant and awkward in how they push in the last and just can't get a round win. But, you know, it's also maybe all that awkwardness was just due to how they as a team, you know, kind of subconsciously approach Koth, and they were just thinking, okay, our strategy is that when we hold the point, we just hold here. You know, if pushing out aggressively with an Ubercharge wasn't something that they discussed, wasn't something that they prepared for, then they weren't going to do it under those sort of circumstances. So goalie wash will be a whole nother world. It'll be interesting to see how the Russians respond, but I definitely think that they're going to be shook. You know, another thing to point out was that Menti, just a huge damage difference.
Yeah, he did do a ton of damage there, and the crits towards the end. But we are live on this second map now. Germany will be in the blue and Russia in the red. And this is Germany's map pick after being 1-0 up on the map score so far. If they win this next map, they are through to the grand final of the Sixth Nations Cup, eXtine, and both teammates fairly fast to mid.
Yeah, this is going to be really tense how this goes on, and the pressure is going to build on our first map product. At least you have some time to breathe. No such time here. Lightclaw, our first fatality in the map. Miep also getting picked off. There goes Uka, though. More players for Russia going down. They had some mid-fight problems on Viaduct. Seems to be the problem here as well. Now Crime can't escape. It is just Poskar and Pahan. They have to be careful, though. No one actually super quick through Big Door, but the bomb across from Menti. Oh, and then a huge snipe from Der Milkman, taking down Pahan. And we could see the Germans out to a quick lead here, as Pahan not going to come up for 10 seconds. Poskar also down. And Domato doesn't even have Ubercharge yet, 99%. He's about to get out here and push with it. They're just taking their time a little bit, but there they come through the shutter. Milkman gets exploded on the shutter, but this looks like a very successful push in. The scout is on the point. Soldier has to deal with it. Other players rotating in. Does Germany have enough players here, though? It seems like it's a little bit of a struggle, though, as Miju has gone down, Zamperoni's gone down, Mezzo lurking around. There needs to be more frags, though, and I think the Germans have been repulsed for now.
Yeah, I mean, Menti and Saga are still in secret. DQZ is going to take him down with that detonator. But for a second there, I thought Germany were just going to be like, hey, 1-0, let's go.
Yeah,
you know, it was such an aggressive push. It should have worked, but some clutch plays there. But Tomato staying alive, Pahan dying.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big advantage.
And it was like a roller, just kind of a final fadeaway shot there from Menti to get the frag. And it looks like they're getting the quick capture on second as well. 5 seconds on some of the players here for Russia. I think the Germans, though, are just going to take their time to post up correctly. They get a frag on Poskar, though, and there is a player on last who does get the capture. Rez.
Yeah, Rez was just chilling on last, and as soon as the second cap went down, he was just like, you know what, try and stop me, cap boys. I'm just going to air blast you off. And there we go. Not in the fashion maybe we thought about 30 seconds ago, but Germany take the lead.
Yeah, and Russia might have been a little bit more shook than we realized, as they also, I mean, that was one thing that we didn't get a chance to talk on. If pregame, I mean, or sorry, mid-map, you know, wasn't that long, thankfully, but the mid-fights didn't work so well for the Russians on Viaduct. And they're going to need to figure it out here as they lost Lightclaw and Miep. I think both those players going down on Big Door style. Uka has gone down. The flank is coming around here from the scout. That's a free kill on Poskar from behind. Russians have gotten some other frags. There's 5 players still remaining on the point. But they're starting to back up while other players are staying in. Oh, God. So Crime and TS just left in the wind. Pahan and DQZ get back. Safety
that was such a bait.
Point.
Such a bait. I mean, Pahan falls off there. Could no one able to chase? I mean, they took down Tomato. Fuzzy managed to take down Tomato. So Lightclaw versus Zamperoni on second.
Oh my God. Wow.
Manages to get him down with the laser pistol. I mean, it was so awkward there. Like Fuzzy getting the kill on Tomato. Germany have no heals. Russia have heals, and they had players to fight. But Pahan and other players may be thinking, oh, let's protect our medic and back out. Crime and Fuzzy did not get the memo, and they get baited and die. So Germany ended up capping. And Uber is used here. It's going to be onto Lightclaw. He's going to get bounced around with those pipes. I don't think he's going to get anything out of it. And a bit of a wasted Uber there from Russia. They will capture mid-eXtine, but they would have wanted so much more with that.
Yeah, it would have been nice to get frags on Tomato, but, you know, we'll take it one step at a time. And now they just have to be careful that the resulting counter Uber doesn't just completely wipe them out. Py-bun playing kind of close. Okay for Crime to be doing so. He's the demo man. He's going to get his traps up. Here comes the charge, though, from Dreamy. Py-bun does scatter behind the point. Rez goes flying forward. Just gets air blasted away from middle point, but towards Fuzzkey. Gets cleaned up. The fight's still going on. Py-bun has escaped out. Or no, he's back by Big Door side. Excuse me, he's with DQZ. DQZ will get killed. The Germans will take this point over. Just Fuzzkey still there. Looking for a snipe. Does get Tomato.
Clutch.
Nice
that is so clutch. Look at the Russian roster right now. They had 2 players up, Crime and Py-bun, and that kill from Fuzzkey, you know, throwing his life away in order to get the medic pick is huge because they, at the moment, things weren't working too well for them. And okay, actually getting a couple of kills there, so that's really going to help them. No Milchman and no heals. Russia can walk in here.
Yeah, getting the kill on Mitu as well, who's been pretty influential. Certainly a huge bomb in from Utka to take that fight on Choke. The stab coming in here from Mezzo. We'll just get Light Claw and then take some damage from Utka, giving him another kill. The cap will go down here on mid. Medic was over by Big Door, so is Crime. And I think they might try to push in here. They do have an Uber charge as well, should they need it. Being a little hesitant to push out just to make sure that their Milkman doesn't get a drop here. And then figuring out that the combo is upstairs. Tomato goes down! Once again, big jump in from Utka. And the push out here is pretty good. Their Milkman jumps down to try to get a snipe here. But players going down. Crime really kind of the biggest casualty for Russia. Are going to have to use the Uber charge here. Good pop from Py-bun. I mean, unfortunate to have to use it in those circumstances. But he gets it out on DQZ before he goes down. DQZ wants to charge forward here. Gets a reflect pipe onto Menti. And it's just him here. But now, okay, some other players are coming out here. It's pretty strong aggression. He needs somebody on the point, though. DQZ, though, just kind of willing this himself. But with just yourself, it's really hard to take that Highlander team on.
TS obviously not realizing that some people have the outline view models on. So if you're disguised as somebody on the enemy team, as a spy near the spawn, you can kind of see it through the doorway. Kind of like a wall hack thing, but it's the way the game's designed. Don't disguise, just stay cloaked. But yeah, he gets caught out there by Mezzo. I mean, Milchman going now, I'm probably going to show my age here, but going for that max shot. You remember the drop out of window on Badwater, where he just kind of no-scoped, sorry, point-blank headshot. Didn't really quite work out. I love DQZ just puffing Zamperoni back up to the roof there, just saying, hey, you want to drop down on us? Nope, up you go. And actually, the Uber gets forced on Tomato. I think there's a Utka there. And they use Uber out here, eXtine, and now it's 100% in the hands of Py-bun. Big advantage.
Yeah, very nice play by Utka. He's been making some huge plays in this goalie wash. And we'll see if the Russians can capitalize on it. They're just trying to come down through wood into lobby. Kind of taking their time to get out here to get ready to push. That's okay, though.
Yeah, they have a lot of time. Milchman is dead for another 10 seconds as well. They want to go for River. It seems actually Lightclaw goes down. That actually is not a great pick, not a great thing to lose, because that is less cap time. And here we go. We saw this the other day with Germany having a great last hold because Saga has this wrangled sentry. They takes down so many. He takes down Py-bun. Of all people, 3 players alive.
Nice.
It's not enough though, as they do. The difference is there, eXtine. What we saw the other day with France were going in and focusing the sentry. Russia were like, you know what, we sacrificed the bodies to the sentry. It doesn't matter, we're going to get bodies on the point as well. And it's 1-1.
Yeah, certainly. That was a good push from them. Just kind of a diverse approach to it. Pressure from all directions. They had players coming from underneath, from Secret, and able to get that capture. Menti takes early sticky from Crime, but they see that everybody's coming up that way. Crime goes down early once again. Py-bun has taken some damage as well, losing Pozkar and the Light Claw. Russians in a bad spot. Utka does get a kill on Dreamy, but he's kind of caught out and by himself. Really the only player left actually fighting.
Again, like, Germany just need to be better at the mid-fights at the moment. I mean, both of these teams played Gully in the previous round. You know, Germany played it against France, Russia played it against Israel, obviously both of them coming away with victories. But Russia are just struggling at the moment to get stuff done on the mid-fights. And the only time they won, essentially, you know, the round before was when they managed to get a kill on Tomato early on, and Germany already capping second despite losing Menti, are able to just cap this with ease, and now they can set themselves up, and this may now be the big door stalemate that we've been waiting for.
Yeah, I mean, the Russians did show that they could play some defense. They were able to hold off Tomato earlier in this map without an Ubercharge of their own defensively. And actually do send out TS just to kind of be a distraction on second point while kind of this offensive push kind of gets ready to go. Things tied up 1-1 though, so somebody's got to score here.
Somebody has to score. Somebody has to get anything done. But at the moment, Germany have no real incentive to do anything unless they get a big pick. This is what Russia were doing earlier on. You know, they were just kind of chilling and waiting. Sent in Utka. Utka got the force onto Tomato, and then they push. And yeah, TS actually getting so much of a back cap done. Just kind of chilling there. Gets it like 80-90% done there.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. It has caused the Russians to feel encouraged about this and get a little aggressive. Saga at 12 health. He was the engineer in the lobby. He's got to back up. The Germans are over on Big Door side. Fight is going out. Crime needs that Ubercharge. Here it comes. Ubercharge has come out the other side. Lightclaw just gets on the point and says, well, you guys are Ubered and fighting. I'm going to finish the capture. That means that they don't have to worry about a back cap anymore. Zamperoni cleaned up easily afterwards. There's a mini sentry over on Big Door side. Lightclaw is there. He's at 77 health though, so he's not really feeling comfortable pushing out. Poskar's going to get healed up to full and then just post up. And I think they're debating what to do here, whether they're going to go forward or whether they're going to play it slow and just be happy with the second point that they got.
This is such a hard point to push out from eXtine. Really hard to push out from last. And Russia did it like with an equal Uber situation. Like really well played there. Zamperoni didn't know what to shoot. Does he try and shoot the Uber and push them back? Does he try and shoot the scout that's capping on the point? Well played by Lightclaw and Crime. And actually they pick up Saga on the flank. Might pick up Mezzo as well. No, Urka's going to go down. But yeah, kind of a bit of a stalemate situation. A small Uber advantage for Germany, but probably not enough to really push on.
Yeah, very negligible. Yeah, and also shout out to TS for that unconventional spy play. He goes down now, but just getting all that cap time really kind of unlocked that push.
I mean, sometimes it's those little things that really do help, like the things that don't really appear big in the grand scheme of things, but you think Lightclaw may not have got that cap if it wasn't already, you know, 70-80% capped already. So really well played, and clearly Russia knew what they were doing there. But now it's going to be a battle, I think, between Fuzzy and Milchman. Who's going to get the snipe? If one of them gets a snipe onto the opponent's opposition sniper, then gives them a bit more room.
Uka went down the drop down. I'm not entirely sure if he got spotted or not. Does change his mind. Poskar has gotten stabbed here by Mezzo. That's a good pickup. He might not be able to get away, but he does survive for now. Ubercharge exchange happening on Choke. DQZ gets thrown in the air, but it looks like it'll be a pretty clean cycle. Russians have a little bit more time with invulnerability, but nothing really that they can do with it. Der Milkman gets the snipe on Fuzzy on the corner. That might encourage the Germans to head out here, especially as Lightclaw has gone down over on flank side. There's another stab by Mezzo getting Poskar again. And Menti charging through. They've switched sides. Tomatoes over there as well. Uka gets thrown up towards Riverside. He's got Mezzo behind him, distracting him, so he's not going to be able to bomb in on the combo. That's Crime coming in, though, but he can't get much done on Tomato. Now Uka comes forward, but he just runs into a bunch of Germans and gets taken out. Fuzzy up top gets a snipe on Milkman, which again will slow things down, but Fuzzy has to deal with Saga in his face with a shotgun. Zamperoni stabbed now.
Yeah, TS, that's a big pick. It should slow things down, and maybe the Russian respawns are going to come in time. There's still an advantage for Germany, but really well played by Germany there. Just really well played, getting the picks and rotating and just catching Russia off guard.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that they weren't keeping a closer eye on that scoreboard and realizing how many players were down for Russia, but they did want to reform with this Ubercharge. Right now they're getting stuffed in Shutter. They'll get through with about just a third of their Ubercharge left over. Tomatoes gets pushed backwards, but he's survived. And Germany has the player advantage. Red's going for the cap again, but this time Poskar is there. Other players have gotten some good frags as well. Zamperoni still fighting around the point. He gets taken out. TS lurking behind for the Russians, and only a few players up for Germany. Tomato backing out through Big Door.
last time this happened, we saw a back out from Rez, but he died in that exchange, so don't think we're going to be seeing that again. But, I mean, well played by Russia again. You know, in a situation where they don't have an Uber, it's DQZ just denying the Uber, allowing everyone else to kind of back up towards the spawn, get into a position to fight the post-Uber fight, and running a panic attack, of all things, and getting kills with it. And first key with the kill onto Milchman. Maybe Russia want to push forward here. They've got an Uber advantage. It's about 30%. And they're actually going to capture this midpoint, pretty easily. So, you know, Russia in the ascendancy here, but I think they may want to slow things down. Tomato at 90%. It's getting close.
Yeah, there's some big entry snipes from Fuzzkey. Right now, though, the fight going underway. Poskar thrown sky high. He will get a flash. He's down to 30 health, though. Really great flashes, though, from Py-bun, making sure that he stays alive. Poskar now isolated out there. We'll see if they can get out around the corner, though, get an arrow on him. No, they don't. They leave him out to dry here. As the fight continues, there's more frags for the Germans. As I say that, though, Utka coming out here, he gets a big frag. Crime has around the corner. Russians really hesitant on this. I really think they needed to commit on that and back up their heavy weapons guy, because it's kind of falling apart now. They were sort of worried about the back cap, but it's just Mezzo and the soldier there. They can't really get anything done. Miju also jumping forward is going to get taken out, so it has worked out for the Russians.
I love Crime's aggression. He just wants to go forward all the time. And I want to see how many times he's killed Milchman so far. On Product, he was doing it a lot, and he does it here again, just running forward to lobby. Doesn't give Germany even sort of 1 second to think, hey, should we peek this? Should we get Milchman a little bit of space? Go for a snipe? No. Utka's on the slide door there, just spamming through and manages to get the kill. And actually, Russia have a big advantage here. I'm not sure if they realize how big it is. I think they want to fight this. Poska is in water already. I don't think anyone actually knows Dreamy's going to go down and check. He might get caught out here, and I think, yeah, they do take down Zamperoni. He takes down Dreamy as well. He will die, but the Uber's going to be used by Russia. Germany have lost 4 players. The Uber finally comes out, but there's so much cap time, eXtine, and only 5 players left alive for Germany.
Like Claw was lurking. He was hoping that he was going to be unspotted there, but Menti did sniff him out. We'll be able to get the kill there. Py-bun thinking about pushing forward here with Crime. They do feel like this is a good advantage, that they want to use it. Utka goes down somewhere to Rockets himself, but big damage here from TS. Crime still fighting from below the point, but he's got to deal with Zamperoni and Rez. No more players left for the Russians to push in. Py-bun going to get caught out in lobby. Soldier in his face. It will be Mezzo getting the credit with the revolver.
I don't think Germany can push out here, though.
Yeah, there's aggressive pressure here from the Russians. Keeping the Germans in their base. I mean, it's really just Zamperoni on the point. Lightclaw trying to get in there. At this point, though, again, kind of stretched out a little bit thin. Nobody else pushing in with him.
Yeah, Pahan's just going to spawn now. Tomato has 20%, so Germany now have to think, hey, do we really want to do something with this and push out? Like, they've been getting outbuilt so far in this game, on Gullywash at least. You know, Russia have been getting their Uber before. TS isn't on last point. He's going to be looking at Tomato and saying, hey, this is how much percentage he's got. You know, Pahan is going to be building. Germany, there's still cap time on the last point, so I don't think they're going to want to push out here, and I think it's going to be down to Russia to try and get something done to try and force the Uber out of Tomato.
Yeah, we are tied 1-1 here with 13 minutes to go. So nothing too urgent for the Russians. They can take their time here, see if TS can get something done. He has been unspotted in that corner. Michu going down, that's, you know, that's something for the Russians in these circumstances. Not that big of a deal.
Start to get in these situations where Russia will be thinking, okay, we can just sit back here and wait for Germany to make a mistake, send in a couple of players. Unless we get a force or a drop or something like that, then we'll push in. But otherwise, they don't want to risk it. But it's Russia, and they're in lobby, and they're just being really aggressive here. So there you go. Fuzzkey goes down to the Wrangel Sentry from Saga, which is probably in a more traditional position now, as opposed to the one he's been using before. But yeah, Russia, you know, wow, skip jump there from Luka, just launches himself into water. It's just interesting what they're going to try here. You just don't know.
Yeah, Uka gets an arrow heal, so he's going to be able to work from River pretty healthily. And the sap has gone out on the sentry gun. He's going to be able to stand on the point with the pain train. Time to capture. He does get it! Perfectly timed offensive push from Russia there. The pain train in the Uber charge. Used an effective combo.
Uses the pain train taunt as well. which is something you don't see very often. I mean, if you go, it's just the perfect distraction. An Uber is just a distraction at the end of the day, and Uka makes great use of it. And I didn't expect him to get that, despite using the panic attack. And Germany, I don't know, that's tilt-worthy. That's tilt-worthy. And if they don't win this mid-fight, I reckon Russia may be able to try and take control and get a really firm grasp on this map.
Yeah, that's certainly a disappointing one to lose. Right now, this mid-fight has gone a little bit better for the Russians. The last mid-fight, they went for it aggressively with the set play for sure. This time, taking out Tomato in a much slower push. They also get a stab on Menti. Der Milkman going down, Rez going down. Just Mezzo and Dreamy alive for the Germans. Dreamy trying to come in from behind, won't find the frag there. Mezzo going to be left to just try to pick off some of the respawning players.
Yeah, really, I mean, like I said, this is where, you know, Russia can start to just slowly turn the screw and get some stuff done here. Pahan with the huge Uber advantage, really well played mid-fight. They didn't go really far in, they didn't just waited for the picks and then they played off of it and focused the right targets. And this is where you kind of wonder, do Russia want to push in here and try and make it 3-1? Do they chill for a bit and make Germany sweat it out, knowing that they have to push out at some point? You know, there is not much time left in this map, you know, only a third of it to go. But if Russia make this 3-1, it could be really a good position for them to just wait. And Menti's gone down. That's enough for a push there. And Pahan's going to use the Uber.
Yeah, it seemed like maybe they were going to try to push all the way through River. It has been a split here. TS is there, the heavy weapons guy and Soldier trying to walk up to get on the point as well. A lot of pressure on the point, but it's been stopped. Oh no, the last player goes down. And again, the Russians just flooding into the river and taking the point from behind. 3-1, a 2-round lead up against the Germans. This is going to be tough. The mid-fight, again, going to be crucial. If the Germans win this mid-fight, they could roll it forward. But if the vice versa is true, the Russians going to be feeling very confident with the rest of this map time.
It was a crime how easy that last push was there. And oh my gosh, again, Crime is doing so much damage. Menti goes down, and Miju's going to go down. Fuzzy does die to the Milchman, but Germany are not in a good position here. They are stuck in the elbow. No. Can Tomato escape? He does. But Pun Police can ignore that. Crime did so much work on that last point, eXtine. He did so much. He just knew Menti was dead. He knew there would be no stickies on that last point, and he just put them everywhere and just said, walk at me, I'm going to pipe you, and just killed everything. And again, he does so much work on this this mid-fight. Look how far forward he is. He wants to fight Menti. He forces the Uber as well. He dies for it, but now Russia have this huge Uber advantage. Miaf is not scared as well. He's wrangling an Uber demo. These Russians are mad, but they have an Uber advantage. They may lose mid off of this if they're not careful, because they're losing a few too many players.
Yeah, they're still doing a good job, though, of keeping the Germans honest and focused a little bit backwards. Tomato tries to charge out here, but I mean, coming out of this choke into an Uber Pyro is not going to work. TS coming from behind as well, causing the distraction. He's going to feel a little bit put off that he didn't get a frag there, but still overall, well done by the Russians. 3 players waiting to respawn for the Germans, as Mezzo also goes down here.
Yeah, nice headshot there from Fuzzy, and he is just watching the sidelines, making sure if anyone wants to push out onto this second point, they're going to have to push out into a scope. And there was so much damage done by Uka onto Tomato. That's why Germany have backed up into the lobby. They were trying to stay in on the second point, but Tomato was about 40 HP, and if he'd stayed in, he was at risk of dying. And Germany really don't want to do that when they have an Uber advantage here. But Milchman's gone down for Fuzzy. They have this charge here, but they can't get out of lobby. They're stuck in. Tomato's used on Dementi just to keep him alive, and Russia just going to hightail it back to mid.
Oh no, and then Tomato getting cut off over on Big Door by DQZ. Dreamy still behind. Other frags happened and went down well for Germany, I guess, around the point. Somehow they've gotten Pahan here. A jump in from Uka, the soldier, but he's just going to be able to sneak his way out. And the Russians certainly on the back foot here as Germany pushing through the choke, looking to recapture mid here. Hosker lurking behind. Maybe going for a ninja heavy play here shortly, sneaking up behind Tomato.
Yeah, Pahan dying there. Oh, Tomato goes down to Uka. That's huge, and he also takes down Menti. Utka's doing so much work on this map so far, and Lyclaw's going to clean up Miju as well. And I was going to say, Pahan died there. Russia, he didn't protect him. And, you know, Russia just they have this huge advantage now. They have the midpoint. Saga is trying his best, but DQZ with the reflect rocket kill. A non-reflect. That's another rare one next time. We saw a rare one the other day, didn't we? A non-crit reflect rocket to take down the sentry. And Russia are probably going to push in with this Uber advantage. Their Uber pushes onto last have been very clinical so far.
Yeah, great plays by them as they push through River, creating space for players to capture. Oscar standing down there eating a sandwich, gets backstabbed by Mezzo. So that might slow things down here a little bit, but they do still realize that they have a large Ubercharge advantage. Looks like they're still hungry for it. But even without the heavy weapons guy, they're going to Ubercharge, pushing the Pyro down to the low ground. He's just trying to get some flames out. They do get the sentry gun down. Pahan going to escape out into lobby, while Crime's still fighting underneath, but it looks like this push has been aborted for the most part.
Yeah, it just didn't go well for them. They got the sap on the sentry, but they didn't have a heavy. They didn't really have much presence on the point early on, and it allowed Germany to just reposition themselves kind of like a chessboard and make sure they're in a good position to just get the frags when they needed them. But, it's the crits onto Menti, and he gets 3 kills per hand. Fuzzy, Lightclaw, all dead. And again, Germany is saying, we need to change something here. And they pull out the crits. It worked for them on Product, and it may be working for them here on Gully Wash. They're going to recapture second, and they have 5 minutes left to get 2 rounds on the board.
Yeah, it's always so fun to see crits run in TF2. I mean, it's one of those things that you kind of just like realize that you think about, you're just like, why don't more teams do this? You know, it can run really successful for a while, but can have its problems as well. Menti goes down there. You just need to maintain your aggressiveness with it and find good openings. Gully Wash, certainly a map where we've seen it in the past. We'll see if Germany can make it happen here. They're about 90%. They don't have Menti with them, which means it's going to slow things down here. And if it gets to a stalemate situation, those are kind of where KritzKast suffers a little bit.
Yeah, and it's knowledge as well. KritzKast is very good for the surprise, but now that Russia know that there's a KritzKast in play, they can just say, hey, we're going to make sure we're in a good position to keep our medic alive, and they lose a couple of players there.
They're going to use the crits here coming out of the choke. Able to get out a little bit, but instantly have to get pushed back. And then the flank from DQZ comes out here, and they get the frag. And that crit certainly did not work for the Germans. It was a desperate situation, though. They had to play aggressively if they wanted to start getting some momentum to pull back 2 rounds to tie this game up. But looks like the Russians are going to be able to push forward, get second here.
Yeah, that's the negativity of the crits there. You know, once you know that the enemy's running crits, you can make sure your medic's protected. Behind with the Ubercharge, they're going to use it. And there you go, DQZ and Crime just going towards the point. They can try and get some cap time down. They've got stickies there. They managed to get 4 kills. Crime and DQZ getting so many, only 3 Germans alive there. Miaf comes in, and he just takes his shotgun out. He's just going to be like, I'm going to walk on the point. 4-1. I don't think they're coming back from this now.
No, not at all. That was a pretty crazy push, and I guess that definitely just kind of sums up Gully Wash, though. Just the Russians doing a really good job of just putting pressure on the point, having the Germans respond to it, you know, fragging more players, and then just eventually capturing the point. The KritzKast not working out for the Germans. See if they can get another good mid-fight here. Slower tactics from them, nothing so desperate. Miju, big kill on Crime, though, to start things off.
Yeah, Pahan actually gets the kill onto Miju, so denies it, and Germany are losing more players. And they get, look at Miaf, he's holding big door by himself, does eventually die, but he took so much attention onto him, just in that big door, on his opponent's big door, that so many German players had to turn around, and Uka's in behind, Tomatoes dodging and weaving! Oh, Fuzzy, people are going to be angry at him right now. He gets the medic kill, but he stole that from Uka, and Lightclaw did all the work. But it gets stolen. And I think Russia, 3 minutes to go, Germany needed a very good mid-fight and a couple of lightning rounds there. I don't think it's going to happen.
No, not anymore. Seems like the chance has gotten away from them. And right now, Russian players just kind of looking to pad their stats. Maybe get another round on the board as a technicality. Menti trying to fight from upstairs here. Saga finding Pahan and Crime. We'll get the Ubercharge forced out from him, so that's a nice jump down from him. Some aggressive engineering.
We have a bit of a conundrum, I think, eXtine. I don't want to get onto the non-TF2 side of things, but the first map was played on a map chosen by Germany, I think.
Yeah.
This map's been played on a map chosen by Russia. Moving to a third map, I don't know what the situation will happen, so I'm predicting maybe a slight delay as the teams discuss this or admins decide. We'll have to see what happens. But Russia already in on last. They've lost 3 players and they're still trying to get cap time on the last point. But yeah, I mean, we see this quite a lot in teams taking their opposition maps. You know, Germany picked this map and they've now lost it 4-1, whereas Russia picked product and have lost it 3-2. So it's kind of a free-for-all. It's anyone's game as we go into the last map.
Yeah, certainly, and we're going to be heading over to Payload as well. So this happened the other day, but once again, we're kind of doing the TF2 circuit, getting King of the Hill, 5 CP, and Payload. So always really intriguing to see what happens. Oh, Minty, nice 2K with the crits here, getting Pahan and Fuzzkey.
What do you think his DPM is going to be at the end of the game? Menti right now.
Menti?
Yeah, we're talking like 400s or 5. I mean, he's been hitting a lot of these crit stickies. Are we thinking maybe he's pushing 500 again?
Yeah, he's probably at 500 with crit stickies. I was gonna say anywhere between 420 and 450 was gonna be the range, but that crits, that's a really good point. They'll probably take him to the 500 range. He's been playing very well. Crime had some problems on mid fights again as this map started. I think one interesting kind of exchange between the teams, as GG's have been called here with 40-some seconds to go. It was the Russians, I think, on the 3rd round, and they just pushed up elbow really strong, and then they just got completely crushed. And it certainly felt like desperation at the time, considering the score line. And then once the Russians had taken that lead, Germany went for basically the same play, rushing everybody up elbow, and just got destroyed in the same fashion.
I feel, yeah, on mid-fights, Crime was, I don't want to say struggling, but on product, definitely, you know, he got picked off early a couple of times, wasn't really effective on mid-fights here, but I think in the transitions between point to point, he has been a big driving force for them. He's going forward, he's just saying, hey, I don't care who's in front of me, I'm going to put damage down. He's getting focus onto Demilchman, which obviously top fragged in the previous map. He's just walking forward and throwing stickies at him, not giving him time to take a shot. And I think that's been a real big reason why Russia have been winning this point-to-point. 4-1, I don't know, do you think that reflects what we've seen in the 30 minutes here, 4-1 to Russia?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, at least in the last 20 minutes of it, they really kind of turned it on. You know, maybe that last round was kind of a soft one given to the Russians, but they certainly earned it with the Ubercharge pushes into last. We see that teams kind of have issues with that. When you look at the round lengths, it's really just kind of that 3rd round that was really long. And that was when the Russians took the lead. But it was kind of like a tidal wave of momentum, you know. So after they took the lead, and then we just had a really quick round after that, and they just kept pushing forward. Very, very strong plays from them. Looks like actually Menti not that high on the damage. My 420 estimate was actually pretty close, as he gets 413 damage per minute, 32 frags, 18 deaths. Still a pretty good map for him. But,
yeah, definitely. I mean, look, Utka, I mean, in half an hour, 44 kills. I mean,
that's crazy.
Yeah, in the previous game, I gave a shout out to Miju for his bombs, especially in the last couple of rounds on product. I felt like those bombs were what won Germany a lot of time on those rounds. And he may not have, he was, you know, in the top 5, I say, for kills.
Yeah.
But Utka on this map, top damaging, 428 DPM, 6 air shots, 44 kills, not dying an awful lot. I mean, 24 deaths isn't that bad. Absolutely crazy. Like just constantly, he gets 5 sniper kills, which is only bested by Fuzzkey, his team sniper. He gets 5 medic picks, which is more than anyone else in the server. The guy was just slaying, and you know, maybe looked at Meteor and thought, hey, he's getting a little bit too much credit for these bombs. I want to partake, and doing so much work.
Yeah, and you know, outplaying Miju in the one-on-ones as well, getting more frags there. He just put in a fantastic half, and you saw it as well with the bombs that were just kind of causing pressure on Demedo, and really important kills coming in at important times. So Uka in that 5 CP format, he was finding a little bit more success than he was on product. The bombs on Badwater, the perspective that they need to take is going to be a little bit different. We're going to have to see how he can respond, how some of these other players are going to respond. What's your feeling? Do you feel like the Kitty team that this Russian team stems from? Do you think that they're super strong on payload? I mean, just kind of overall, traditionally with Highlander, you think of payload. Is that going to be a comfortable map for these players?
I think it's going to be a lot more comfortable for poker. Looking at the stats, at least he's been at the bottom for the last couple of maps, as has Zamperoni. It's not an individual thing, it's a Heavy thing. Heavy can do a lot of denial on product, but it's pretty much sit back, wait for something to jump your medic, kill them. And on Gullywash, you're not really involved in a lot of the Ubers. I think on Badwater, he can do a lot more. He can be a lot more involved and be a lot more of a tank for his team. And I think it's really going to come down to the demos. We've seen how close these two snipers are. They were 44 and 42 kills on product?
Yeah.
Milch and Fuzzy, and now it's 22 and 21. They're so close to each other. It's really hard to separate, but I do think that the big issue for Russia is going to be if they deal with Mezzo getting in behind. I think he's going to be more comfortable on a map like Badwater, whereas on Gullywash he doesn't have that much of it. You can see he's in the middle of the table there, not really having that much of an impact on the game, whereas players like Utka probably going to struggle a little bit more on a map like Badwater. It's limiting for Soldier. Same with Lightclaw as well. He got 32 kills. He was the second highest for the Russians. So the players that have done really well for Russia in that previous map are going to struggle a little bit more on this map, whereas I feel the big names for Germany will probably have a better time on this map. So Germany, I don't know, I think both teams will go into this feeling confident, but Germany may just have the edge. But, hey, I'd like to be proven wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to really predict the future here. We might have a new server in the future. I don't know. That's probably just a joke, but something about loadout issues. So hopefully we'll figure that out here. I think another player. I mean, you were talking about Mezzo and the Russians checking him. Another thing to just point out is, similarly. Even though the Russians did win, TS didn't really have the best game on that goalie wash, going 11 and 26. So you'd have to anticipate that he'll have a much better time on this map. And he was pretty threatening on product, even though they had the loss there. Both Pyros, kind of middle of the pack, close with each other on stats that last map. But I would say both of those players did a really huge job for their teams. Rez getting that sneaky cap for the one capture they did have, and DQZ kind of sort of similarly just like charging his way into last and getting some big plays. That's another key component of payload, kind of just how well the Pyro can move forward offensively, keep track of that spy, and protect the sentry nest on defense.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, then it comes down to the engineers as well. I think both of the engineers have been fantastic. I mean, Saga has been great on last. He's been doing a lot of work. Miaf is just doing things that, maybe is catching Germany off guard. He's just walking forward and being like, hey, I'm gonna get my shotgun out and go for it. So I'm just loving the play from these players. So many players doing crazy and it's just being in, DQC running the panic attack, on Pyro. I'm loving it. And I don't know, I wouldn't be surprised if this goes to a 2-1 on this map. As to who it goes for, I don't know. I do think it's going to come down to those time. I think it's going to be like product. I think it's going to come down to those little differences. Is the sniper battle going to go in the favor of one or the other? Is Mezzo going to get a clutch stab? Is Crime going to walk forward and get a drop with a sticky trap or something like that? Those tiny moments in the games that really make a difference.
Yeah, certainly. You feel like there's going to be something here that makes the difference. Whether it's the hold of a particular point. Or the way that a team attacks a particular point. We are on stopwatch. Each set that we have here, teams will have the opportunity to attack and defend, and so we'll have 2 to 3 sets here. So we're gonna at least see a couple options from these teams, or a couple attempts to push through the same option. I guess one team might just kind of choose to. Sometimes things just don't go right. You don't necessarily have to change your strategies. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do think in TF2, in Sixes and in Highlander, it's very much adaptation. Seeing what your enemy's doing. That first round, could go either way, but often it's a chance for you to work out what kind of strat your enemy is going to be doing. Can you counter them the next round? Can you learn from it? Can you improve on your weaknesses? And these teams, this is kind of as high pressure as it gets, because the winner of this does go through to the grand final of the Six Nations Cup. We're into the third final deciding map. And one of these teams will be going through. The other side of the bracket, though, Poland versus Finland, will be casted tomorrow. It won't be us. If you're enjoying the cast with me next time, then unfortunately, I don't know what their names are. I think is it Jack or something? Jack or something? No, it's Jay Kawadi, of course, the hype man himself, and he's one of the gamers you see in the server right now. Domato is going to be joining him for Poland versus Finland. Who do you think is going to be the favorite going into that game, like getting into the final?
I think again, and sort of plays into the favor of Poland to call Finland the favorite. I think that there's a lot of really good things going on for Poland. And that they've been playing great, but I think you do have to consider that Finland is the favorite, just kind of their historic powerhouse and their roster. But Poland have been playing so good that I definitely think that they have the capability to take it. Stingen as well as Bartes have been playing super strong. And certainly your heavy weapons guy and your sniper are a good backbone for your team. But we've seen a little bit of slips here and there from Poland, a little bit of scares. They did beat England, but that wasn't a completely straightforward affair. So I'd be leaning towards Finland. But either way, I'm certainly going to be tuning in to watch that match because I think it's going to be fantastic. Jay Kawadi always brings the hype. And kind of either scenario, which way this map ends up, we're either going to have a slightly depressed Domato who has a lot of insights into the process and just kind of what's going on, or we'll have a Domato that's really got a keen eye for what both teams are doing. So I think it'll be a fantastic cast either way, and I hope the rest of you join me in tuning into it tomorrow.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to that. An interesting fact about the Nations Cup, and I'm going to go back to what I was saying in that first map, eXtine. When I was a young man, I was a young man once, and I was
Are you an older man today? I'm getting some rumors from chat.
Just slightly. I'm 21 now.
Okay, well, congratulations.
Yeah. If you believe that, then. Back when I was getting into Highlander and stuff like that, I was very much into watching casts. And yourself, you were obviously casting a lot of NATF2. I used to watch a lot of NATF2, and I was watching some videos today, sort of a bit of a blast from the past. And there was a frag video from 2012. There's some moments in there where you were commentating over it, and I was thinking, wow, like back then I was, starting out in the lower divs of Highlander and sixes and watching eXtine cast, and now I'm casting with eXtine. Oh man, And 2012 initially is actually the same date, or the same year, I should say, when the Nations Cup started. That was the first ever one, and that was when Germany won. That was the first team to win a Nations Cup. That was their first and only victory. So it has been 7 years since Germany won the Nations Cup in a Highlander, and they are the only team left in the competition with a previous victory. I think we've said this before in the previous rounds. Like Sweden no longer, didn't participate in this edition. At least they were 2 times champions. USA 2 times and defending champions this time around, knocked out in the groups, and Germany are the last remaining previous winners. So if Germany get knocked out here tonight, then we will have a brand new Highlander Nations Cup champion for the first time. But if they go through, then they could match it up and make it 2 for them and sort of boast alongside Sweden and USA as being sort of the Highlander giants of the world. So it'd be very interesting if Poland or Finland or Russia could join those two, or if Germany are going to sort of hold off and make it all the way through.
Yeah, certainly would be cool if the Germans could win again, especially with all that history, as you mentioned, the inaugural champions. But TF2's come a long way since then. A lot of new items, a lot of new players, a lot of players like yourself who, were playing in 2012, were playing when the game came out, but have just continued to mature and become involved in the community. And I'm sure we have future generations watching today, right? You know, getting inspired and dreaming and say, you know what, I want to take whatever your country is, I want to take us all the way. We can do it. And I think so. You know, I also just kind of want to point out that what's really fun about this tournament is like a lot of these teams have these kind of communities of players that, you know, maybe they don't play on their same country's team usually, but they've just been playing together. There's kind of pockets. So there's, okay, these three guys, you know, live near each other. They've been playing. They've been going to LANs. Maybe they're on different teams together normally, but they know each other. They live in the same city. You just got a lot of really fun connections amongst the players. And I think that also pretty much enables, you know, any country to just kind of work their way up, to figure it out. You know, if you're missing a few key players, then you go out there, you recruit players, and you start building them up. And this has been a fantastic competition, not only this iteration, but also over the years. Very excited to see what Badwater brings us here. Our third map here tonight. We've had two excellent maps. I'm excited. Some more hype here. Should be getting started shortly. And yeah, then we mentioned the other semifinal taking place tomorrow. And I think we're trying to have the grand final by this weekend, I think is the game plan. So
that'd be pretty good. I mean, I totally agree with what you said. You know, you think of a lot of these players may have been getting into TF2 back then. You think of that old German team. They had some amazing players like Shocky and Bash, you know, players who went on to win I-Series grand finals, you know, the biggest competitions in TF2. And, you know, the old Russian teams had the likes of Forsaken and Shadowburn, you know, and huge names. And a lot of these players probably got hyped up with watching those gamers. And now they're the ones with the chance to put their name into history and say, hey, those guys tried it, those guys did it, but now we're doing it as well, and we're making our mark, and we're the next generation. And that goes for both sides of the bracket. All of these players definitely within touching distance of not only the grand final, but becoming champions and really etching their names in the history books.
Yeah, and certainly this is a big step. I mean, I think it's a fairly big difference, you know, mentally, emotionally, to be like, yeah, we lost in the finals, you know, versus, you know, we lost in the semifinals. You know, making it to the grand finals is a huge accomplishment. I think that there's a lot to fight for here. If you go to the finals, you put on a good show and you still lose, you can be content with it. You can be happy under these circumstances, though. If you lose in the semifinals, it just feels kind of bitter, man. So one of these teams is going to have to be, you know, spending the rest of the night thinking about what went wrong, thinking about what they probably could have done better in the first map or the second map, or what went wrong in the third map. It's been a long night, but at the end of it, one of these teams is going to be a champion. The other team thinking about what went wrong.
Yeah, it is difficult. When you get this far, you think these teams have fought through the groups. You know, they've won games, they've won so much, and to get through just one map away, this third map decides who reaches the final. To lose it in such close circumstances will be tough, knowing that it's going to be another 2 years before there's ever going to be another Highlander Nations Cup. But we are going to be live now on this third map, Germany versus Russia. This is the first of the Nations Cup semi-finals, the 6th edition. Russia picked product but lost it 3-2. Germany picked Gullywash and they lost it 4-1, which takes us to Badwater. 3 different game modes next time. It's always nice to see, you know, different sort of situations, different play styles, and it looks like it's going to be Russia tagged up now with their country in front of their name, ready to take on Germany in the red. And this first attacking time is often the most crucial. It really does set the pace for the rest of the game. I do believe eXtine is muted. I hope he's still alive and things are going well and we haven't crashed. He's back now.
Yeah, I got some button that does that. I don't know which one.
Just slam the keyboard, hoping one of them turns it back on.
Yeah. Was just going to say, we'll see what sort of crazy strats, if any, come out to try to dislodge this sentry gun. Right now, it's just a pretty straightforward jump in from Utka on the regular rocket launcher. Backstab onto Milkman, really the only entry kill here for the offense. As other players going down here, there's actually so many players for the sentry gun to shoot. It's like not sure which direction to point.
Yeah, it's quite a passive sentry. Sometimes you see engineers putting the sentry a little bit further forward, ready for that suicide wave, but because it's so passive, it's blocking the tunnel now, but the cart's only just reached the tunnel. And in that time, Milchman went down and Menti went down. They both respawn now, so Russia really not taking advantage of those early picks they got, but they're trying to go on the far side. Because the teleporter went down, Milchman, you know, is in there, and he has taken down DQZ, so this Uber from Russia really not going to achieve much.
Yeah, taking down that teleporter is fairly significant. The sentry gun still standing pretty strong. There goes Saga, though. So obviously, if you don't have an engineer to repair the gun, it makes it a lot more difficult to maintain. But they're not really having the pressure coming from slope to get that easy kill, whether it's the sniper or whether it's the soldier spamming rockets across. They're trying to get stickies in there now. Finally, the sentry gun does go down right when Saga respawns. He also doesn't have that teleporter up, so it looks like Mato and company may be pulling back, saying, you know what, we don't have the resources here to get a hold together. Yeah.
Wow, just great play there. Zamperoni taking, just being aggressive, taking down Fuzzy, and Mezzo taking down Pahan. DQZ and Pahan had about 50 HP combined, and they just denied the bombs, but Tomato now with the huge Uber advantage on this second point. It's going to be interesting whether Germany wants to hold second. You know, back in those old days, eXtine 2012, we used to hold roof, but not anymore, and sometimes it's more of a risk to even try and stop that second point. It's better just to back up to third. And Russia, a lot of cab time, a lot of space. Russia backed off, and the Uber's used by Tomato, and they don't get Pahan.
Yeah, and they didn't block the capture either. I think that would have been the more important objective there. I mean, obviously getting Pahan, big deal. Uka getting thrown sky high. Will get taken out, though, by actually Menti's pipe. So nice shot by him. But yeah, as we mentioned, the capture has gone underway. They're pushing forward. Pahan will have an overcharge advantage once they get here. Get there. Right now, Milkman sniping down the rails. Does get... actually, no, that was Rez. Oh, okay, I think he got the shot on him, and then Rez burned him down. That's what happened there, excuse me.
Yeah, he just got that finishing off a bit of damage. That helped. And somehow, well, and actually, because Pahan, you know, respawn time is pretty decent, does have an Uber advantage. I'm not sure if Russia realized the kind of the percentage game right now. They do have 20% advantage. If they're going to push in here, then they got look at Lightclaw. He's getting so much cap time for free. The car is at the bottom of that hill right now, and you know, it could be a pretty good Mezzo going to cloak, but can't get anything. And Fusky takes down Milchman. They're getting a lot of space here.
Yeah, they lost Poscar and Crime. Pahan has fallen down, hasn't used the overcharge yet, but with those players going down, might be hesitant to do so. Looks like they're still very 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Pahan and Utka on the rails. Lightclaw also continuing to try to play that game of inches, just get a little bit more space.
It's very important to get that space. Milchman goes down to TS again.
Yeah.
So no sniper. And Lightclaw, again, it's just using that space to go onto the car, push it a little bit further, make sure it doesn't roll back. The Ubers are going to be exchanged. Menti's very, very far forward here. Has to be careful, but no, nothing really gets achieved by either side. A couple of kills for Germany, couple of kills for Russia. Tomato playing on the floor right now, and DQZ just, you know, going towards that car, just making sure it's not going to roll back. And it's getting ever closer to the point now. And you know, like we saw earlier on Gullywash, you know, you can take the Uber in as a distraction essentially, and just have other people push on. Miaf just walking forward, doesn't care that he dies, gets it up that little ridge, just pushing it a little bit further each time.
Yeah, I like that commitment from Miaf. We saw the other day on Upward, that just kind of pushing that cart, you know, keeping it active, not letting it roll backwards is really huge. Miaf committing to it there. And Russians building this supercharge. This has been a very solid defensive third here for the Germans. As the slow push coming from up top here, they're walking out with Prime. Medic is exposed though. Der Milkman just respawning now, so they felt pretty comfortable with this slow push.
Lightclaw's being like a gnat right now. He's like that annoying gnat in the summer, or a mosquito, just going in, touching the cart, backing off, touching the cart, backing off. Ubers are exchanged. The cart's still very close. Germany don't have an engineer. They don't have a sentry anymore, and that's going to really hurt their defenses as they try to regroup on the high ground. Poker has gone down to Miju, but Russia are just playing on the floor. They're focusing the cart really well, and they may actually get the cab here. They've got a lot of players on the time, but no, Mezzo gets one stab. Can he get another one? Lightclaw almost gets the cab. It's so close. But Germany really not in a good position here.
Yeah, great from tenacity from Germany, although Fuzzkey gets sniped down. So just when it was seeming like everything was going their way, that they were going to be able to hold things off here, they now need to back off. The memo didn't get through to Menti, though, as he gets killed over on the 3rd point. Piju, a good position behind, bombing in. Hits the spy first, though not the medic. Pahan able to surf away with about half health. He'll just let that regen kick in. And the dispenser, they're pushing forward here. Crime already on the floor by the capture point. And
yeah, they're trying to lock down the spawns.
Yeah, Poskar Pahan up top, blocking down that top exit. Tomato and Zamperoni down low by the stairs. Dreamy has flanked around. That will cause the overcharge to be used here. Poskar gets separated and taken out. And Pahan jumps down low. A little bit late, though. Looks like the push getting cleared out. Pahan will escape, though, to the benefit of Russia.
Yeah, I mean, that was a bit of catastrophe there, as players were getting dropped. Crime died, Poker died, and Pan was looking around looking for someone to heal during that Uber. So they get the cart very, very close, but it's in that sort of position now where they need to be quite deep in order to actually get close to the cart. They can't keep edging it very well because of the location of where the sentry is. So now, they get Fuzzkey tries to get into map room and maybe get an angle, gets taken out by the pipes from Menti, and Dreamy and Zamperoni combine to sort of take down Poker there. So yeah, now this is going to be interesting in how Russia are going to try to slowly get this, but Lytle takes out Menti, so that's a really big pick. No demo to deal with for a while.
Yeah, also Utka with a good bomb in to get all the way across and get the kill on Milkman. So similarly, feeling pretty confident to just walk in on this upper deck and take their time here with a slow push. Sentry gun has gotten taken out. Here comes the Uber charge on Crime. Counter Uber used. And it's very focused on Rez. And as he gets up top, we'll get a kill on Posker. The scout Dreamy still up there as well. Mief taken out. Blue only losing 3 players for Russia, but most of their players not really able to get in here and contest, capitalize on the frags they have gotten. As I say that, though, here comes Lightclaw charging forward with Pahan. They've gotten some big frags. Miju's got to go big here up against Lightclaw and Fuzzkey. Gets the kill on Fuzzkey, but can't last against Lightclaw, supported by Posker. Crime down low, spamming stickies around, and Tomato throws his body forward. And that's going to be it. Our first round, 756. Pretty decent defense, seemingly facilitated by that 3rd point hold.
I wish I could use my push to talk and clap at the same time. I'm going to do it like really awkwardly, like just slam at it. I mean, Lightclaw and DQZ, they won that. I mean, the Uber exchange happened. Both sides lost a lot of things. It was kind of looking, Germany were probably thinking, okay, that wasn't really too good for Russia, we're just going to chill again. But then DQZ and Lightclaw just dropped down from the high ground, and at that particular moment, Saga was wrangling a sentry. They just ran in and just killed everything. And Tomato actually was playing a bit of hide and seek for a while. He was crouched inside the dispenser. Nobody knew he was there, and Lightclaw ended up getting the kill, but he was trying to go for the Uber source to maybe clutch something out of that. But that's a pretty good time for coming out of Russia, and I think Germany, I'm not going to say they're going to be shook, but there wasn't really too much time for them to kind of relax on any of the points. They got most of their time on 3rd, I guess, but other than that, Russia were really just so aggressive each time.
And if we had webcams on the casters right now, you would have seen my jaw just drop with the realization that Crime is running the Scottish Resistance. I absolutely love this 4 payload maps. Really, the advanced pro move that they didn't pull off is to get that KritzKast out here. Which I don't know why Pahan running all the way back. I guess he's just going to hide for a second and then take the teleporter exit. But the Scottish Resistance can be very effective on this point, because you can just have traps everywhere. You can control Cliff while also having traps by the sticky.
I'm sorry, but Han's literally just standing in spawn. What's he doing?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
That's like, they're going to bomb in and try and kill stuff. I mean, they're not going to have buffs or heals, and as soon as that's going to be relayed to the rest of the German players, he took the teleport, he's back in action now, but I don't know if that's like 500 IQ strat or 5 IQ. I mean, I don't know, it worked. He didn't get forced.
Yeah, I think the concern there where it could backfire is if something happens to the teleporter exit. I mean, it's kind of tucked away, but it is an important piece of hardware, so, the spy might get it. But he didn't leave a whole lot of a window there. So I guess maybe that's the other concern, is you come out of the teleporter and you just panic without realizing the situation. Uber charges are being exchanged here. It is going to be better for the Russians as well, as Tomato on the low ground can't really get that far forward. Oscar was spamming chain shots in, but he gets taken out with the backstab. A Light Claw also goes down. There's that Sko-Res finally getting a kill on Dreamy, but Crime has gone down. So his effectiveness there in that first hold is debatable.
I mean, it's a bit of a strange situation. Fuzzy is getting a lot of kills right now, and he's doing so much work for Russia that everything else is just working out for them at the moment. They lose the teleporter, finally gets sapped down. They don't have a sentry in a decent position, but I think Russia are comfortable right now. They're buying a lot of time. The only worry is, if they get wiped here by Germany, then it's going to be very difficult for them to do anything on second. But Polska comes in, and Fuzzy taking down Menti, a lot of damage just going down, coming from everyone from Russia. They're just very aggressive with their holding.
Yeah, and Crime, as soon as he got there, was playing very aggressive on ramp. He actually got taken out with a snipe right away. Mezzo down low on the cart, might just push it. Actually doesn't get credit for that, so the cart going to continue to roll backwards here towards the mouth of the tunnel. The Ubercharge has been used by Germany, but 2 minutes to capture this point, and things kind of suffering here as Tomato getting chased down. Will need a rocket, but he's back in spawn. Has to be a little bit careful, but looks like they want to charge forward here.
Yeah, they've already chalked off a couple of minutes on this first point, which, you know, isn't a huge amount of time, but it's more time than you really want to give up on this first point. And we have seen teams hard hold this first point before. Fuzzy is on a 6 kill streak right now, and it looks like Germany want to try and fight this through tunnel. But you can see why you don't want to do that when you have the high ground. Russia just spamming down and take down so many players. Tomato is trying to get away there. I don't think he will. Light Claw's faster. Takes him down with the laser pistol. Pew pew. But in that, Py-bun did die to Miju there. So maybe that's the one saving grace for Germany right now.
Yeah, losing your medic at 76%, real painful there. The teleporter exit has come back as well. So Py-bun respawning will be able to take that to get back into action. Sentry going up in a different spot at the base of the stairs. Some frags going out here. Poskar and Fuzzy have gone down. Py-bun starting to kind of back up here. There's still players all around those. Py-bun in some serious trouble. Gets taken out by the pistol of Mezzo. It looks like the Russians being pushed back.
Crime!
55. Oh yeah, Crime taken out. 55 seconds left on the clock for this first point. They will get it, and they are charging forward to control the spawn exit. But at this point, they really need to get that ×3 on the cart. They're about to do so now. Well, TS gets 2 stabs.
Oh, TS with the double stab. Crime was on a 6k earlier, and he did so much work there. I was going to say Russia, that's the classic example of doing so much work with the first point and then losing it. And Tomato gets taken down. Crime is just doing so much damage. This is insane. He is loving it right now.
Yeah.
And he's such a big Crime, and Fuzzy are doing so much. Actually, I'm not going to even say any more names, because that would be a disrespect to the Russian team. Like, they're all doing their part. They're all doing so much work right now. And Germany, it's taken them, what, 4 minutes, I think? 4.5 minutes to get this first point, and it doesn't look like they're going to be any close to getting second. But Han has an uber advantage.
Well, on that second there is sort of the classic, you know, feeling so confident that you just want to spawn camp them. But if you don't have enough actual players there, then you lose those players. And that means that generally you also don't have enough players left alive, and you just get rolled back. So that's what happened with the start of their push on second. This time they are able to get out and finish it. But they're going to run into a level 3 sentry gun set up aggressively here to control the deck. And that's able to spam at least Miju out. Dear Milkman is trying to snipe from that angle. We'll get some sort of look across. Takes out Mia instead of Py-bun, who I think did show his head a little bit.
Yeah, Miaf had an aggressive sentry, but because he's gone down there, sentry is very easy picking, so there's no sentry in the window. That's an opportunity for Germany to get a lot of cap time on the floor, and despite the fact, they've used the Uber very, very early on, Menti goes all the way up top to try and force the Uber, and this is a very interesting Uber from Germany, but it's working out very well for them. Russia had a better Uber, but they didn't actually have the space or the presence to deal with it, and Germany are actually winning this fight. They're walking forward, and they have the heals, they have the presence, and I think this third point is going to go down very, very quickly.
Yeah, you have a Pyro and Medic protecting a Sniper, and that's really not a whole lot of offensive capability. Buzzkey momentarily stopping to hit his shots, not finding anything as he kind of backs up through tire side. Py-bun was able to escape. 2 minutes left on the clock. There's actually still hope here for Germany. This has been a fairly sluggish start for them, but certainly possibilities still exist.
Fuzzy's gone down. No sniper. So Germany, look at where they are. They're just walking on the cart. They get Menti gets picked off by Crime. That's a really big pick for them. Dreamy's getting as much camp time as he can. And this is all about exchanging of frags. Miju managed to take down Lightclaw. Dreamy takes down Crime. Germany are winning this. They have an Uber here, Russia, but they can't do anything if they don't have the players.
Yeah, it's just 4 players down low. And actually the sap coming in here is going to cause some problems as the players surge forward here. Zamperoni backing up the sap. They get the kill on the sentry gun. There's an Uber charge here, but it's only on Mia. Germany surging forward. A minute left on the clock. A bunch of players about to respawn here, but it's a full-strength German team on the cat, and they get it.
Wow. How on earth have we gone from, 4 minutes on the first point? Russia just looked like they couldn't be pushed. And then Germany just sliced through them on the next few points.
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, especially also as I called it out, that scenario where the Germans were like, oh, we can spawn camp them outside a second while we push the cart. And then they were like really split up, and then they gave up so many players, and you just think, oh man, that's going to be rough. But, they just kind of charged back forward, were able to kind of wipe out the Russians on second, and the Russians did have plenty of time to set up on third. But yeah, Mief getting sniped out there, that means that gun in an aggressive position got taken out. The rest of the team weren't able to hold there. Pahan left isolated. Very, very strong half from the Germans.
Yeah, you do have to wonder if they maybe not contested second, just put a little bit of spam down, but made sure that they had, the default hold on third, whether that would have worked a little bit better. But I think that Uber from Germany onto third really just shook Russia. Yeah. They didn't know how to deal with it. Menti jumping up the high ground to try and deal with Poker. So, it all kind of fell apart. Looking at the logs, Crime top fragging and doing the most damage. Like I was saying, he was doing so much for Russia. Fuzzy also with 16 kills, but there's a lot of Germans there in the top 5. Zamperoni with 17, Menti with 15, and Miju with 13. Both spies doing a lot of works. TS just edging it with 13 kills. But I mean, it's almost like the logs don't even matter in this round. I feel like if it was down to logs, Crime and Fuzzy were doing everything, and it was just tactical from Russia. But Germany in the end just pounced through. Russia couldn't deal with it. They couldn't regroup.
Another sort of interesting stat that stands out to me is TS getting 8 kills on Der Milkman. Der Milkman 9 and 17. So definitely got really shut down. But, again, it just kind of comes down to these strategies and how it, when it happens, and if Der Milkman was getting shots right before he got stabbed down, the Germans just able to kind of play through tactics, make sure that things were happening at the right moment for him.
It's almost like a steal game, where the logs don't really matter. It doesn't matter how many kills you get, it's which kills you get, when you get them, and whether you pressure the cap at the right time. And I was complimenting Lightclaw for being that annoying player, just constantly pushing the cart. There was nothing like that from Germany. They just focused the objective once they were winning the fights, and they were winning the fights.
Mm-hmm. And really great job pushing in on last there. I mean, obviously that just happened so fast, but just kind of good coordination from them, and the Russians not really able to establish that kind of outer defense, protecting corner and controlling the deck. They lost their sniper right away. Fuzzy just kind of having some problems for sure in that half. Still got plenty of frags, but it just kind of seemed like there was other opportunities where he just started missing shots or got taken out at the right moment.
Well, that's the thing. Milchman was dying a lot. TS was on him very, very often, and I felt that was giving Fuzzy the room to do a lot, and he did a lot on that first point. But after the first point, he wasn't in a position to be able to do anything, and that's the problem you have with classes like that. You need to play around them and give them the space and the position, and Russia just seemed to be not able to regroup there after that third push. I mean, on last you'd think, okay, a couple of minutes, they have an Uber advantage. It's okay. They can just chill there and wait for the Uber to come in. But they didn't. They bled players. They let people have the room, and that's what ended up being Germany's ability to win that round. And now we're going to see a repeat of that last kind of phase there, where Germany are attacking first, and Russia going to look at that defense and hope that they can set a much better time. Because if it's a similar time, it's going to put them under so much pressure in their attacking half.
Yeah, the pressure of payload is so rough, and this first point defense did go really well for him last time. Crime has switched off the Scottish resistance to regular stickies. Again, I think if you pull off that Kritzkrieg early setup with the Scottish resistance, it's really worth it. Just the regular damage output of the stickies, hard to contest with.
Doesn't look like Pahan's going to do his strat. He's just walking back, you know, going for a jog. Just, I don't know. But DQZ going down early on, that is so bad for Russia. CeeJaey dying, though, that's going to help them a little bit. But no Pyro is going to make it very hard for them to deny these oh, wow, okay. Never mind. Wrangler exists, and Menti is just going to be denied there. And the teleporter has gone down. And Pahan is now having to be escorted from spawn. So, yikes.
Yeah, I mean, these players aren't playing in soundproof isolation. I wonder if anybody mentioned that to them. I mean, I hope that we don't have any collusion or ghosting attempts in Highlander. But, you know, certainly, yeah, that was the downfall of that strategy that we predicted. Pahan is here now, but got there kind of late. I don't know how well the heals were. Rez has gone down. Crime kind of down low on the floor here, but this cliff push looks like it has been repulsed. Yes, also in a decent position to maybe get some sort of stab here in a second on somebody.
Yeah, really good defensive Uber there from Pahan. He arrived just at the right time and managed to save all of the players that he needed to. They didn't manage to catch Tomato on the retreat, though. Lightclaw was close, but just wasn't able to. And again, Germany deciding to try and pressure tunnel. It didn't work for them before. They do manage to take down Miaf this time, so no engineer. Sentry will die. It's going to make it much easier for them to try and do something through this tunnel. But there we go. Fuzzy's on top, and he's actually just sniping things, and the rest of the Russians are just focusing this tunnel. And again, it doesn't work for them. Menti and Tomato are going to be lucky to survive this time. They do get out, but again, it looks like Germany struggling to break down this first point. Yeah,
there is no sentry gun right now. I was just looking around for where Miaf is. I think he is starting to get set up over on the no, he's back on the cliffside, and he's got that just a level 1 sentry wrangled up. But Der Milkman looking that way with his angle. And here comes the overcharge again up top. Menti and Rez, though, kind of getting shoved back. And CeeJaey getting destroyed as well up top here. Poskar getting a lot of damage out. Can't get a kill on Dreamy. Menti in some trouble here as Crime putting a lot of damage his way. It will be Utka who gets the credit for that.
Yeah, Rez actually takes down Pahan. He just runs in there and takes down a couple of players. Just so much damage. Germany falling apart almost, just losing a bunch of players. They will get this first cap, but it's taken them a long time, and I don't think their advantage. Oh, in comes Lightclaw. He's getting some damage onto Tomato. TS is on top. He's cloaked. I don't know whether he can make a play as well. But the teleport's still up. Utka just jumps in. That's why you got a teleport over being rebuilt using the space wrench, the Eureka effect. And Russia again in an advantage situation, and Germany just can't catch a break at the moment.
Yeah, they're trying to push forward here on the corner here. They will get a snipe from Der Milkman looking up top, gets kill on Posker. We'll kind of send people backwards as that door closes. Gets actually, I think, the environmental kill on DQZ. He was trying to run through.
Tomato died to TS though. In all of that kind of. You know, he comes through. I think he's going to go through the teleporter. I don't know if he's going to try and catch him out here. But yeah, I mean, this is a better situation for Russia now. They've got their sentry up in the window. Miaf has learned from before, and Russia are playing this kind of defensive hold that has been the standard in Europe, at least for the past couple of years. And you'd expect them to get a much better hold this time around. Tomato only at 30%, so you wonder if Germany are going to try to get some space, you know, get Milchman in, or try to go for some suicides.
Yeah, they're being a little bit slow with it. 50% on their charge. CeeJaey gets sniped down. Gonna back up just a little bit. Adjust. Now their Milkman getting sniped down.
It's like a shooting gallery, just waiting for them to pop open and just taking them down one by one. And this is the thing that people complain about. I mean, we've seen 2 third holds be pushed really fast here, but usually people complain about bad Wiethoofd because they say it's very, very hard to push if the defensive team is set up right. And this is where, you know, the challenge is going to be for Germany. They don't have the momentum right now. They don't have an advantage. It's going to be whether they can find the key to unlock that door in order to get the cart all the way up to the point.
Yeah, it's just really tough where you have Demo Man, you know, watching down low. The Spy is there with a clear eye on everything as well. Ubercharge coming out here from Germany. Actually, a double stack getting Mief and Fuzzkey. Oscar down pretty early as well. The Sentry Nest has been cleared up. Ubercharge here from Russia, but they're going to need to be looking with their backs to the exit.
Yeah, they're going to have to get out there.
Yeah.
They have to back up, and again, it's just something as simple as that. A couple of kills on the right players. If Russia don't regroup, it's going to be exactly the same as it was before eXtine. You know, they need to get players up. They need to get them in the right position. Germany aren't going to stop holding that W key. They're already way in on last.
Yeah, they've lost Utka a little bit early, which is pretty unfortunate for them. They're still starting to establish some of their other players. Fuzka sniping from down low. Zamperoni and Domato have control of the deck, though, pretty good. Zamperoni jumps down, 95% on Domato. Kind of thinking about pushing forward with Rez. But some other frags coming out here, particularly from TS, getting a backstab on Dreamy and their Milkman, mixing things up. Menti now getting forward and on the point as well. They're going to run into Miju. Miju actually getting taken down right before Domato can get some heals on him. Domato fighting with Rez down low, has an opportunity to back up through stairs, actually takes some sort of projectile and now getting trapped underneath the stairs, so unfortunate for them. Maybe could have backed up through stairs earlier, probably should have. They have lost their medic.
Yeah, I mean, Germany maybe needed to reevaluate what they wanted to do with that Uber after TS. Great work. He is on so many points right now. He's on 28, which is more than anyone else in the server, more than the medic. Wow. You know, he's way out in the lead, and he just focused the people on the cart, and nobody's pushing the cart. The German Uber is going all the way onto the lower spawn, and then Utka jumps in behind and manages to sandwich the Menti with the big bomb here, maybe go for a suicide, get some decent sticks in. Mezzo with the sap, loads of players flying, and Sentry's gone down, but the Uber has been forced out of Russia. They lose nobody for it other than the Sentry, which is just a robot. Who cares about that? But Russia now at a disadvantage. Germany 60%. Russia are actually trying to get aggressive here, eXtine.
Yeah, the offensive defense can work out, but you have to be careful of players going down. Lightclaw getting a kill on Menti, which is nice. Domato, the one doing the defense there, picking him off before he can do even more damage. The Germany certainly rebuffed for a little bit here.
Yeah, their advantage isn't going to be as big as they think. Bahan's already at 70%, and because of that aggression from Russia, it's bought them a little bit more time for Bahan. So as long as he's in a good position, he's backing out to Spire. Is he not? No, he's caught in no man's land. What are you doing, Bahan? Get to safety. He's only at 86%, and this is looking pretty good for Russia. Somehow Utka and TS just do so much work.
Yeah, big frags for him, a little bit disconnected from Germany there. As the Ubercharge rounded the corner, they kind of got stuck with projectiles, and then also like Fuzzkey just like shooting over the shoulder of these Ubercharge players to pick off Dreamy, which, you know, that scout pushing the cart ×2 is so huge, and then also just kind of in this open space, his ability to kind of draw your opponent's focus and make them spread their damage out is really important. But the Germans just getting stuffed right away. The cart was rolling backwards for a second. They had Dreamy run out and touch it. Have to be careful of Fuzzkey. Always keep him in mind. He's lurking across, looking in the map room right now. Germans a little bit hesitant to get out here, but still trying to make some progress off Ubercharge.
Yeah, I mean, if Bahan had only just walked up Spiral, like his kind of the default backing out point, he would have been with Poker. But here comes the Sync Bomb again. Miju comes in, he gets taken down. Sapper is denied. The Sentry will die. Bahan doesn't even have any, but Bahan gets thrown into the mix! Oh, he gets taken up with a pistol of Dreamy. He was in so deep, 20-second respawn. The Uber's used straight away by Germany, and I'm not sure if this is a good decision because DKZ is just going to push them away, and they are going to pick up a couple of kills here. I think Germany should be able to repush this now based on numbers alone, but that was a very, very early Uber out of them. Zamperoni on Menti on the cart now, and they're just trying to just get the players on the objective.
Yeah, part of the thought might have been that with Py-bun down, they will have a very slight overcharge advantage in this kind of resulting mess. They certainly needed to accomplish more there. Aggressive jump around the corner. Jared Milkman going to try to shove Oscar back with some headshots. Sentry gun gets pulled back. Domato in a very awkward spot, but nobody realizes it from Russia. He's just kind of awkwardly in that doorway to map room with nobody behind him.
Yeah, somehow they just regroup there, and again, it doesn't look too bad for Russia, although Germany are now just saying we want to dry push this, and they're getting very aggressive with their heals. Zamperoni, oh, reflector from DQZ, and it's all falling apart for Germany. They lose 4 players, and the sentry gun from Saga as well. Uka wants to walk forward. Domato goes down to about 60 HP here, and has to back away and try to live to fight another day. He does have an Uber, and perhaps, is only at 80%. And Germany, I think, might want to push this straight away. They don't really want to hang around anymore.
Yeah, they're taking their time, though, to rotate through Tire. As they come out here, Menti getting the pop on him. Here comes the overcharge as well. Oh my god, everybody getting air blasted away from the gun, though. They do not get any damage on it. It's not taken down. Zamperoni up top. Domato taken down. The Russian defense holding strong.
They're just regrouping really well. I mean, in the first round, it all kind of fell apart for them. But 5 minutes and 23, that is the time for the third point. It's been a while, and I think we're getting close to a 10-minute time here. So it's not going to be looking great for them. And Crime with the sticky trap takes down 2. Rez and Menti. It's going to be very difficult for anyone else to achieve anything. And Tomato's pretty weak here. Poker is just coming in from behind and manages to get a 4th kill onto Zamperoni. And it's just Germany. The coordinated sacks were working really well. You know, Meze was sapping, Miju and Menti were going in. They managed to get the force both times they did that. I'm not sure what they're trying to do now. Maybe it's panicking, maybe they're trying to change strats, but those suicides worked really well, and Russia haven't had to face those, and they're winning the DM fights in these equal Uber situations.
Yeah, the cart rolling backwards now. Zamperoni taken out by Crime, who's again just doing so much work on this defense. Germans unable to push here. Mezzo's behind them, cloaked up on the side. They're having problems finding openings, though. Crime has gotten sniped out. Germany going to feel emboldened. Going to push out here. Dreamy, they don't see a sniper, so they're holding on his supercharge a little bit. They've lost Rez already. They're trying to get around this corner, trying to get the kills on this gun, on other players here. But Domato, oh my god, getting reflected, stuck in the corner. He goes down again. And it seemed like just not enough players, not enough commitment, drawing people forward on that push.
Yeah, Domato just absolutely bullied there. He is going to respawn, so I mean, respawn on the attack is fairly fast. Just means that his team doesn't have buffs for the time being, but now he's back in the action. But just so many kills are happening constantly. TS has done so much this round. Crime is being so aggressive that he's just holding the ground, and Poker is appearing in places that not really expecting. Crime might get backstabbed, they don't know. DQZ is like, hey bro, I've got your back, and denies the backstab. And you know, Pahan, as long as he has an Uber advantage here, Germany are struggling to deal with it. They're trying to go through map room right now. They're taking a ton of damage, but maybe a different avenue, a different angle to try and get Milchman into some snipes or something like that.
Yeah, I like the tire approach when they switched over to the tire push, because that's actually how some of those sacks were working out well, as Zamperoni was just jumping down from deck, unspotted for a long time. But their map push gets shut down once again. Menti going down. Fuzzy getting another snipe kill on Rez. They're trying to push into Joe Milkman to get the kill. He's pretty banged up, but is going to get an arrow. And then the stickies from Crime will finish him off. Posgar trying to push out of map room. We get a lot of damage on Miju. The Ubercharge very early out from Domato again. And the cart's just rolling backwards.
Yeah, and I mean, Germany might want to try repush this, because at the moment, what they're doing is they're using Uber very early, and Russia are just waiting and countering with the Uber, and now Germany trying to do something dry, maybe get some kills or something like that. There's 3 players on the upper spawn for Germany. They have total control of the high ground, and you know, anyone who's watched Star Wars knows what happens with that. But Tomato goes down to Light Claw. I don't know, lightsaber, some sort of player wears their eXtine, I don't know, but that's the thing, it's the ace in the hole. Sometimes somebody is coming out with a big play, and Lightclaw this time is going to get it done. TS with the kill onto Milchman, and Pahan again untouched. He hasn't died for a while. He's just happy. He's chilling. DQZ is just his armored guard at the moment. He's not letting anybody near him. He's saying, no, this is my Pahan. I'm his shield. Do not force him. Do not kill him.
Yeah, Russians certainly putting up a much fiercer defense this time, realizing that if this was a quick offense by the Germans, that things would be in danger, and just kind of really staying put in that lower area and flexing around in all directions, bringing a lot of pressure on map room. Uka has been able to find a lot of success from there, as well as just Crime and his stickies and pipes from main. And they're controlling Tyre now as well pretty well. Posker kind of keeps running up the staircase as well and dropping down and getting some frags. We might see that if there's a rotation that way.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know why Germany aren't trying to go with these suicides. Maybe they're worried. I mean, there's 30 seconds left on the round time, and Tomato goes down to Fusky. He's dead, no heals, and it's absolute destruction. Everybody is dead. The only person alive is Miju, and he's all the way on the spawn. He's going to jump in, but I mean, that's like throwing a grain of sand at a wall and hoping to knock it down. He gets nothing done at all, wrangled out the sky. Pahan with the Uber, Russia can just chill here. And I don't think Germany can't capture last out of this.
No, not at all. Pretty insane defense from the Russians. Crime going very big, Light Claw coming through with some clutch pickoffs, but it's also just a whole team effort, really. You know, DQZ, awesome reflex. Pahan obviously doing a very good job on his medic, just dodging around. And that third hold was very good as well. I mean, the first hold, you know, kind of was sufficient. Second hold, you know, as we mentioned, the meta kind of shifting was pretty non-existent, as is standard. But the Russians really keeping themselves in that game with that third hold and just a ridiculous long fourth hold. They actually were able to get set up for it and actually get their players in place and just stiff arm Germany and keep them out of there.
I mean, I've played and I've casted Highlander for a long time now, and I've seen instances like this, and I've seen teams then fail to push first. So there is still a lot to do here for Russia. They still need, I mean, if they capture the third point within 5:23, then they'll win the round. They just need to capture the fourth point at all, and they will win the round. So, you know, there is a lot of room for maneuver there. But the first challenge is, of course, that first point to get through. And, I mean, Germany maybe a little bit rattled here. You know, just it's never good to get into a situation on payload where you haven't been able to cap last. So the pressure is definitely on them. They have the buffer of that one round, but you know, Russia definitely going to be feeling the hype right now.
Yeah, it definitely seems like the best route for Germany might be to just hold this first point, but a very tough task. We'll have to see how they can go. Right now, no real problems being able to lock down all of the initial pushes. Russia just going to be content pushing that card down low, just making some small setup things.
Yeah, big bomb in from Crime, gets a lot of damage down. Tomato actually does use, wow, he was so close to dying there. I don't know, he's down to about 11 HP when I saw him, so very, very weak. Sentry survives though, so the only real loss there was the loss of an Uber. And the teleport is actually still up as well, so Germany have the full complement of players. They have the heals, they have a sentry, they have, you know, the possibility of respawns coming in. Russia need to do a lot with this Uber, they need to get a lot of worth out of it.
Yeah, that was a very nice sack wave. I particularly enjoyed the bombing in Pyro. That's also what really kind of sealed the deal there. Menti and Mezzo go down. Menti in particular, a huge cornerstone of this defense. Sentry Gun just barely staying alive, is going to go down now. And only just a few frags going the way of the Germans with Crime and TS taken out. But the point has been conceded. TS respawning already. Crime will be back up in no time. Zamperoni in the garage. Taken out, yeah.
It's twice he's done that now. Like, they should check. Like, he's just hiding in the garage, just waiting. But I mean, it's still like equal Ubers here. You know, it's not the end of the world for Germany. They give up second, they get up onto third, which, as we know, is extremely holdable. Again, teams can hard hold third as well. Russia, they know they don't have to rush. They can go in here, try to get third. If they don't, they know that they have the opportunity to try and go onto last as well. But TS with the opening pick onto Zamperoni, no 450 HP Russian beast is going to be much easier for the Russians to push into. And Menti also goes down. It's not looking good for Germany right now.
No, and Dreamy kind of got an ambush on Utka, but Utka just clears him out anyways. Sentry's getting pushed or rebuilt all the way in the back of this house. That gets dealt with very easily. And yeah, Tomato even gets killed by DQZ as he's running away. Certainly not looking very good for the Germans. Oh, there goes Zamperoni again as well. 12-second respawn on most of those players that are down. And the third point going to be captured here very swift. There you have it. We are going to 1-1 as Russia just steamrolling through that third point. No problems whatsoever.
That's about 3 minutes, I think. Like,
yeah.
That was very, very fast. And it's not like there was any major picks there. Like, it wasn't like Tomato dropped, I suppose. Like, sometimes
Yeah, Menti kind of went down on all those holds, though.
Yeah. I suppose I'm talking about, like, if your NG dies or your medic drops or something, I suppose they forced Tomato on first, but you'd think with an equal Uber situation on third, they'd be set up to not get sniped, not get picked off, but to lose your demo and your heavy like that, in a situation where you know you need to be really rigid and really strict with your positioning, very difficult to come back from that. And Russia just... Wow, I mean, you think how well they played in the first round and how dominating they've been in that round just there. Fuzzy is top fragging, 29. Lightclaw with 23. Pozka with 23. The Milchman is actually the only person in the top 8 from Germany. Everywhere else is just blue. It's just Russian players, all you can see. Fuzzy top damaging with 475. Tomato died 11 times to Pahan's 3. Germany are going to want to sit there and just... I don't know, just say, hey, let's just ignore that and try again. 1 round.
Yeah. Yeah, another big one is Menti. 11 kills, 22 deaths. Similarly high on the death count is Zamperoni. So, I mean, that just, those players suffering, you know, your whole DPM of your team is going to suffer. And that was just extremely tough for the Germans. Giving up twice as many deaths in the first section of that when they were on offense. Just really rough stuff for them. Hopefully they can shake it off, but they need to keep those players alive.
Yeah, I mean, it's not about the quantity of the kills necessarily, it's about the quality. And I feel on that last point, DQZ, you know, on the attacking phase, maybe didn't have as much an effect on the game, but defensively, on that last point, I think he got to about a 14 kill streak. You know, he was denying the jumpers, he was watching out for spies, he was using the home wrecker and unsapping the sentry. He was just, you know, the jack of all trades. And I have to say, it's really impressive because, you know, he's a player that I've played against as a soldier, as a medic. But as a pyro, he's really coming into his own here and showing what he can do on a team that, you know, everyone else probably knows each other exceptionally well. As, you know, they played the last season, they went to LAN together. He's coming in doing brilliantly. And, you know, we're in a situation here, eXtine, where we're on a best of 3 maps. On a final map is a best of 3. It's 1-1. This final round decides who will go through to the grand final. It's pretty late for the Germans right now. I think it's 11:30 for them. Russia are quite far ahead. I'm hearing rumors it may be 3 a.m. for Fuzzy right now. So, I mean, these gamers are going to be tired. This last round... I don't know.
I figure the adrenaline is pumping through their veins right now. Also, as well, you know, maybe if they were on defense again, the Russians might be a little bit more asleep to just think, oh man, we're gonna have to hold this for another 15 minutes, you know. But I think right now, under these circumstances, they're gonna be feeling fired up. They just slayed it on offense, and right now they're just gonna be feeling super confident of, you know what, we're just going to get those kills on Menti, we're going to get those kills on Zamperoni, we're going to get them to force awkward Ubers, we'll kill up Tomato afterwards, let's get another quick offensive push here, guys. Germany definitely has to watch out for the Russians here.
I mean, talking about time zones, it's pretty late here and I've got my window open. My neighbors are probably thinking, why is this guy ranting and raving about Russia and Germany? You know, and I think Russia attacking first here, you know, Germany didn't really have any sort of defense. It does, you know, are they going to be well prepared for this? It's been a while as the suicides come in. Tomato doesn't take a lick of damage there. Very well protected. And yeah, Russia, try again.
Yeah, much better from them as they anticipate that triple bomb. TS is going to get a sapper on the Telly. He gets cleared off by the scout, though. So Saga going to be able to keep his whole crew of equipment up.
The most important thing I feel is the teleport is still up as well. The teleporter does mean that if anyone dies, those respawns can come in. As the suicides come in, Tomato takes a lot of damage, and he does goes down to about 30 HP there. I think it was a jetpack from DQZ, landed on his head and just got a bunch of damage down. The cart's actually gone really far forward, so basically at the corner there. So Russia in a similar situation as they were before. They have this uber advantage, they need to take this forward, and Germany need to think about, if they don't get an early force, what's their exit strategy?
Yeah, pressure starting to come up the slope here as Posker taking a bit of turf, TS trying to cross over as well. And again, yeah, pressure on the front of the tunnel as Mief is out there building up a level 2 sentry gun to help protect that cart. I like that play.
Saga's gone down. Fusky gets 2Ks. He gets Milchman and he gets the engineer Saga there, which means that the sentry is easily spammable out. TS takes down the teleporter this time. No respawns coming in. Russia don't even need to use their Uber. Mezzo, almost a desperation play there, having to use his revolver to try and force Pahan because can't get close. It's just like this blob of players protecting Pahan right now. Tomato does have an Uber, so it is equal Ubers, but my question is, are Germany going to want to defend and use this Uber for the second point, or just back out onto third?
Yeah, probably back out. I mean, if they can get the exchange here, that would work. And actually, the Ubercharge comes out from Crime. Somehow Crime gets thrown far forward from the sticky trap that was there. Crime then gets taken out by that sentry gun. Yeah, certainly an ambitious Ubercharge here. Scrappy stuff from Russia. Only res down the Pyro for Germany.
Yeah, Miju behind jumps in, gets two rockets straight onto Pahan.
Oh, and Pahan. Nice. Yeah, he was back there for a bit. And good to see that actually paid off for them. So the cart being rolled forward here, but Russia not really in a position to push much further.
No, and you got to wonder what that Uber was. Maybe they were thinking Germany wanted to hold second with the Uber and weren't expecting Germany to be all the way back out on third. And it does mean Tomato, with that Uber charge now, is very safe. And Russia have to come up with a strategy now. What are they going to do? How are they going to get some picks? Lightclaw, again, I imagine is going to be just poking that cart to make sure it keeps moving. And maybe we see some suicides as Milchman goes down to Fusky, so it's going to give him a lot of room. And look how far forward Russia are.
Yeah, Uka with the big bomb in. He gets some damage, but doesn't get a kill on Zamperoni. Zamperoni having a little snack upstairs, and he's going to return to action here. And, wow, DQZ with a reflect kill on Miju. Otherwise, though, things fairly tense and kind of slow pace here. Dreamy tries to get forward, try to get a kill on Posker. He doesn't do so, but is able to escape. Mezzo looking for a backstab here, does get it on Crime before DQZ jumps down and flames him to death. Uka up top, though, they're getting frags. Oh, yeah, now Tomato in some trouble here as the Pyro's going to round the corner. That forces the responsive pop. They're going to use it on Rez here. Pahan does have an Ubercharge ready to go, and only 3 players up for our German team here. One of them was Saga, the engineer, but he was very low health. He had to run all the way back to spawn, so he has 0 equipment up right now. There is that 200 ammo pack that helps get things rolling, but the Ubercharge is already here from Russia, so even just a little bit of damage thrown that way, the Pyro is going to run over there to deal with that level 1 sentry gun. It is wrangled, is creating a bit of a problem for DQZ. Pahan caught down low by himself, and there goes Crime as well. Miju getting the frag. TS will come in, try to sap that level 1 just to get it down, but Saga is there. But look at this, even while those fights not necessarily going Russia's way, they've still been pushing the cart, still been making progress. Miju just trying to throw rockets out here, trying to stop it. Rez comes down here as well, but look how far that cart got.
Miaf actually gets a kill onto Milchman and to Miju. His sentry takes it down, takes one down, and his shotgun takes down the other, and that was just so well played. It was well played by Germany. There's a couple of players behind to try and block the respawn pushing to try and get the car, but look how close the car is now, and this is the moment where things could either go really well or really wrong for Russia. If they go in now and get the cap, it's going to be a very good time, but if they start to get desperate and think, because the car is really close, let's go in, as DQZ gets a reflect pipe kill on Tomato.
Oh god. Wow. That's pretty absurd stuff right there, and such a huge game changer, because yeah, as you mentioned, as an important push, Pahan and Posker are over on tire side, and there's no one really over there for Germany to see them coming. Miju trying to climb up that way. I wonder if he has a sixth sense and will jump out at the perfect moment.
He's so good. I don't know. DQC so good at Pyro? I never knew. Like, you thought he's always a soldier main. Russia, with this huge Uber advantage, they're going to use in, they're going to try and flash people poker. Staying on the high ground, DQC takes down Menti, he takes down Tomato, he's just taking everybody down. He goes down himself, but he's done so much work. Zamperoni's on the cart here, needs to be taken down, but it's only Miju. He's going to jump in, he needs to do so much work here. He takes down Py-bun, but everyone else is dead. Russia just going to walk this in.
Yeah, another extremely strong round from them. And, you know, for Germany, it's one of those, like, you know, falling back from the first point, you have to think to yourself, like, okay, that was all right, you know, and then obviously second point kind of is just a, you know, non-factor. The third point defense, they got established, but then it just kind of slowly unravels. I mean, slowly / quickly, you know, if it's just this one thing that you don't think is a big deal, another thing that you don't think is a big deal, and then all of a sudden you realize, like, oh my god, it's just Tomato and our Pyro left alive, and the Uber charges you have just, like, doesn't matter. And then also as well, just kind of awesome continuous pressure. DQZ, that insane reflect pick on Tomato. Continue to just open things up in under 6 minutes, 5:58. Going to be extremely tough for the Germans here.
Let's not forget the first round. Germany did push fairly quickly. I think they actually pushed around this time, maybe slightly a bit faster, like 20-30 seconds faster. So it's well within their capabilities of doing this. However, I don't think Py-bun has died very much in that time, and they're starting to settle in and get comfortable. They really do need some big picks. Look at Py-bun, he's again doing the strat where he runs away. He's got Light Claw for company as well, so even if they lose the teleport, I mean, I don't know if Germany are going to remember this strat or what, but you know, they could just Uber out here and do a lot of work, because there's no counter Uber going to come in anytime soon. And there we go, Crime gets backstabbed. There's going to be so much pressure on everyone else. They do deny a lot, but Fuzzy's gone down to Menti, and that's going to give a lot of opportunity for Germany to maybe, I don't know, when Milchman respawns, get him into position and just try to push this equal Ubers.
Yeah, Py-bun has now come through. The teleporter is up there with his team, and the cart has been pushed to the mouth of tunnel. One big difference there from the opening is they didn't have Rez jump pack in. He just stayed back, so it was one less player in on the sack. Mezzo, good rotation to get into position, looking for a stab on BF here, does get the stab, won't be able to get the sap though, but the gun will go down to Menti's pipes. Russia's still playing pretty far forward. Dreamy getting on the point, he gets gunned down.
Yeah, I mean, Light Claw and Crime are combining there, like sort of two brothers in arms, just shooting the same things. However, they do lose a lot of players, and Mezzo's on the chase here. I'm not sure if they realize, there we go, he gets Fuzzy. Yeah. DQZ is protecting Py-bun, and he's trying to pistol him down from afar. Don't think he's going to manage to do it, but Germany do capture the first point, and it's going to be in around, what, a minute 20, a minute 30, and look at the aggression now. Germany know they need to do this. This is their tournament existence on the line. Big one from Turka. He gets one rocket. Can he get the second one? No, the reflects come in from Rez. Oh my word, Rez, if they win this round, somebody will owe him a drink, keeping his medic alive, and this is tense, eXtine. I'm not sure if Russia want to be this further forward.
Yeah, TS gets 2 stabs in there, taking down their Milkman and Rez. This push is trying to just work its way through here. They're about to have an overcharge. Yeah, again, it's a question of whether they just want to round the corner with it. Menti seems to be making that call of just like, let's just get out here, let's make it happen. They do use the overcharge. In fact, I think after most of the danger has passed, but it will allow him to get forward here a little bit, and Py-bun does sort of panic, pops it on DQZ. All he can find is Saga, gets a little flare shot through onto the medic. But they have a level 2 sentry gun here, and Miju does get shut down from walking out of the house here. But Menti is going to push forward, is able to find that low ground that offers some safety. The sentry getting wrangled across is pretty well protected right now. The cart has been moving forward. Zamperoni gets sniped down here. Things starting to slow down for Germany.
That kind of 30 seconds there could have been the deciding sort of moment in the game. Yeah. like Russia needed to regroup. Otherwise, if Germany continued there and got a couple more kills, then it would have been a repeat of that first round. Russia needed to regroup, and this time the difference was Miaf had a level 3 sentry in the window and got so much damage on people trying to come in through the chokes that the players on Germany either got killed or had to back up because they were weak enough. And now Germany are comfortable, Russia are comfortable. Germany have used their Uber. Pahan at 99% gets the Uber and has used it, and he's going to keep his players alive. And Germany lose 4. They may even lose more here. Crime does go down though, and every pick at this moment is crucial. 2:45 left on the clock.
Yeah, and the follow-up push stuffed as Fuzzy gets the kill on Menti, really putting an end to any thought of continuing up on the back of that Uber charge. And yeah, it seemed really ambitious and early. They didn't really get a whole lot of penetration. The soldier and the demo getting into the house, but yeah, you mentioned it, Pahan getting that Uber charge just at the right time, able to block things there. TS gets a stab on their Milkman, which is another one of those frags that just really kind of stuffs the offense, hinders your ability to open things up. They've also lost their scout, Dreamy.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be really important for them to make something. I mean, the Uber has not been building very well for Pahan. He's at 65-70% here, and if Germany... I don't know, if Germany, they've used the Uber really early, and Menti's going to go up the high ground to try and get something done. Like Clore and TS are dead, and Pahan is not near his Uber, and he's got to try and keep people alive. Menti is going to get wrangled down there, as does Rez. Miaf is going huge. He has to. Pahan's 95%. He may not have to use the Uber here. I don't know how many kills Miaf's just got, but his Wrangler is probably the thing that has stopped Russia from collapsing there. But most importantly for them, with 1:30 left on the clock, Pahan has 100% Uber. D'Amato died. It's going to take 40 seconds for him to get an Uber into play here, eXtine. It's going to have to be the most clinical Uber we've ever seen in Highlander to cap this 3rd point and roll it all the way to last.
Yeah, and that's it. It's like clinical Uber plus another amazing offense immediately following that. I mean, you don't know how the Russian defense will kind of fall back if they are forced to do so. Right now they're standing tall. TS trying to come in with a stab, somehow whipping all of his knife slashes. But they have gotten a kill on their Milkman and Dreamy. Dreamy's going to be the one who was supposed to be pushing the cart. But Miju and Menti up top are starting to find some work that they weren't able to beforehand. The sentry gun's still up for the moment. And the Uber charge for Pahan. 5 players up for Russia. Miju up in the house. He's fighting, but he's going to get taken out by that sentry gun. Everyone pushed back. Germany have thrown it all on the table. Nothing happened. They've called GG.
Wow, I mean, that was a brave attempt by Germany right at the end there. Dry pushing into something, they knew there was an Uber, but Fuzzy taking down about 3 people, including D'Amato. And Pahan finally using that Uber he's been clutching onto for the past couple of minutes, knowing that the game is done. It is over. Russia come down from, 1 map down. They win their opponent's map. To tie things up, and they come down back from round down in the final map. I'm so tired, we've been going on for so long. I can't get my words out, but Russia will reach the Highlander Nations Cup Grand Final for the first time in their history. The semi-final is as far as they've come before, and next time this means we will be seeing a brand new winner. Germany, the last remaining previous winner in the competition, being eliminated in probably the closest game we've seen so far in this competition. The first playoff game to go to 3 maps, and Russia have done it.
Yeah, excellent job by them here tonight. A lot of confidence as well. You know, certainly a little bit of a setback on that first map, you know, when particularly they were up 2-1, and you got to feel confident, and then you let that map slip away from you at the end of the decisive round. Goalie wash, though, they put their stamp on it. And again, though, you know, you got to wonder how nervous they might have been feeling as this map started up. They put in a great time on offense, and then Germany blasted through their defense. But certainly that story changed quickly as when we got into the second set. And despite the Russians being down, they just offered such a super strong defense and really shook the Germans after that. Just kind of seemed like it wasn't quite the same. They weren't able to put their offense together. Too many players dying, not enough picks. Tough for them, but they put on a great performance throughout this tournament and tonight. Russia taking it, booking the first place in the semifinals. And tomorrow, CeeJaey, we're going to be seeing our other matchup, Poland versus Finland.